Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Summit for Europe. We're getting ready for winners bracket action here as Alliance takes on the CIS Rejects. Of course, I'm LD. This is Winter. He's traveled all the way to Los Angeles to be with us because you were so excited for the Summit 4. So we're about to hop into the draft here. Do apologize for the stream crashing, guys. Unfortunately, XSplit decided it wanted to take a little holiday. But with that said, Alliance, CIS Rejects, they're well underway here with the picks and the bans. So let's go ahead, see what the teams are brewing up for us. First overall pick, Io, Winter, and I think very interestingly, no Nature's Prophet first phase ban, which a lot of teams have been doing versus Alliance, and no Broodmother ban in the first phase.
I think the Brood one is the difference in the last few days. Every game has been first phase ban, Broodmother. But Alliance, they have not been running the heroes so much, so I guess CIS Rejects figured that if
they can get away with it.
Yeah, if they don't want to go for it, they can actually get away by banning it in the second phase. And I see recently the Night Stalker has been on a rise in all the recent series. He's been getting picked up more and more ever since the buff, the 2 HP regen buff on him, allows him to be actually much more aggressive as a support in the lane. So quite interesting to see the Night Stalker getting first phase ban here. And Alliance, after seeing the IR response with Queen and Tusk is still one of the strongest heroes I feel in the current meta, even after the patch. So kinda obvious here to go for the hero
and
as early as possible.
They're now gonna grab the Beastmaster, so it looks like it might be a support Tusk with Bulldog potentially handling the Beastmaster. Of course, he is known for his micro skills, so Beastmaster could be a very suitable hero for him. I guess the other slight option is if they want to run something else for Bulldog, and you run like an S4 Beastmaster, a Loda Quap, but generally Quap is not really a Loda hero.
Or they can actually do even off lane Queen of Pain with Tusk, dual lane. Queen plus Tusk.
That's interesting.
Then Beastmaster
for S4,
yeah,
and then Loda plays something else. Yeah, I guess that's possible too.
It feels more like Alliance playstyle because S4 is usually on bad part Beastmaster. That's how they want to run things. Sorry, even with the Magnus at times. So. But I do feel like Beastmaster usually fits more of a offlane role. But we do see from 5 Yums that they do like to run Fata on the Beastmaster as well, on the mid lane.
And the Rubik now grabbed by CIS Rejects, so... Well, some good spells to steal here. The Roar, pretty much anything that Tusk has. Of course, Queen of Pain's Blink and damage spells quite nice. But this is a curveball, Winter. We're going to see the new Lich, new and improved. Your denied creeps no longer give enemy heroes experience.
Are heavily countering the Tiny. This Tiny is going to have a really tough time. Frost Armor, the Boar, the Sigil. They need a secondary...
A Shadow Strike
even? I think they need a secondary carry to like back up the Tiny though. Tiny might not be able to do a lot of damage because he's going to get kited a lot in team fights by everything, all the slows and Frost Armor.
And I'm curious to see how well the Lich is going to work versus the duo. You've also got the Chain Frost, which could be really devastating potentially.
I wonder if they're actually going to do the Lich. I mean, in the past when you draft Lich against Io, you want a Lich to go to the Io Tiny's lane. So you can mess up the experience of that lane.
Where are that Tiny and Io going for CIS Rejects? Generally they go mid, but we have seen some teams occasionally switch them over to the safe lane, so... Maybe the Lich will just stalk them.
Yeah, I think the Lich will just stalk them. Follow them wherever they go. It doesn't really matter so much where they go as long as the Lich is in the lane. If it's Lich Queen of Pain or Lich Beastmaster, I still think it's a good lane against the Io and Tiny. So overall, I don't think they're too worried about how CIS Rejects are going to lane their heroes, but it's going to be their Clockwork, their initiator for the relocate. I do still feel that they need a secondary like damage hero, like maybe SF or TA, some sort of hero that has carry potential. Because Tiny is definitely going to have a hard time carrying alone.
Well, they are making room for one here as they grab the Clockwork, so very independent, doesn't need a whole lot of farm off-laner.
Yeah, not a resource-consuming hero on the off-lane.
Exactly. Alliance, how do they round this out? Probably the Loda hero still to come. And then I guess the question is, what would Loda play? He's been all over the place. We've seen his Lifestealer, Ancient Shenanigans, what was it, a couple of days ago?
I guess if you want to run...
A week ago?
I guess if you want to run Lone Druid, you can actually put Queen on Loda.
Yeah, that's a possibility.
Then you can have a carry, like...
And then you've got the Beastmaster. Matches up pretty well against the Tiny Io because he's so damn tanky.
And they don't really have like big amounts of damage burst to kill a tanky hero like Lone Druid.
Let's say they ban Lone Druid.
And they
What
have
would the next
they have
option be?
frost armor for the bear. Sounds good to me.
Yeah, could be dirty. You know, you get the blade mail maybe. Have you seen that build, the Mask of Madness blade mail?
No.
It's really annoying, man. The thing has so much health. So even if you kill it quickly, you take a lot of punishment.
And they're banning out the Ember. I wonder if they are actually going back for the PL, because usually when teams they ban Ember, it's a it's a warning sign that they want an illusion based carry.
Or it could be a bait, and they really want the Lone Druid, and they're just banning Ember to throw
Yeah.
CIS rejects off the
Yeah,
scent.
sometimes teams actually do that. They ban certain thing that counters specific hero, but they don't actually want that hero. They just want you to actually waste a ban on that hero.
CIS rejects have none of it. They will remove the Slark instead.
Very interesting. I mean, I guess it still fits with their lineup, and it's a good hero against the Io and Rubik. Very good at killing these two supports in general. But I just felt like they would have been wanting to go for something that's much more tanky with their lineup. If you want someone that can actually use the force armor well.
Trying to think, what else have we seen? I mean, Bulldog, pretty much all his go-to heroes already picked or banned. And that was definitely not what I had in mind.
Tank.
But it is a tank. It is a hero that's difficult to burst. Great to have versus Tiny IO.
Yeah, good against the relocate with the Stone Gaze. And so right now they have Inner Beast plus the armor from the Lich to actually buff up the Medusa. And Razor's typical, a good way of countering the Medusa in team fights. You drain her damage. It's just like how you deal with Razor. And it's also a secondary hero that's going to be dealing out physical damage, because I felt like Tiny wasn't going to be enough in this game alone. So they needed someone else to help out in that department. So the lanes will be really interesting here. I guess Rubik plus Razor sounds much better together. And Rubik Razor in the long lane and in the safe lane, so you can have long distance to chase heroes, so you can actually get the damage drain. And Io Tiny will be in their typical mid position, so you can keep stacking and controlling runes. And for Alliance, they have S4 on Corpse, so it'll be offlane Beastmaster with Lich, I guess, and Tusk roaming around. Queen will be in the middle lane against the Ion Tiny.
Alright, let's see how this works out for CIS Rejects. I guess they have a secondary carry in the Razor, but he's not normally known as being a massive damage dealer by any means, Winter, so a lot of pressure on the Tiny IO duo to perform as we get underway. Game 1 of our best of 3. Okay, he's already TP top on the Lich. Looks like he's going to be looking to do a spot of warding here. Help secure the early farm for whoever goes to the off lane. For now, 3 heading towards bottom, S4 and Loda. And yet to be fully clear exactly how they want to arrange the lanes.
Medusa has the solo mid items, and Queen of Pain has the safe lane items. So I guess Loda is going to be up against the Io Tiny. With his mana shield, she should be really tanky to survive the burst from Tiny. And Queen will be on the safe lane, so you can actually put much more pressure on the Clockwork. I wonder where the Lich is actually going to go. He should be going top with Bulldog. And Tusk would be like roaming around, because it's a Queen of Pain safe lane. It allows the Tusk to be more free with his movements.
30 seconds to battle.
Queen of Pain now waiting for that first bounty rune, so CIS Rejects. Winter, when you look at these two teams and how they match up, CIS Rejects, do you give them much of a shot here versus Alliance? Or do you feel like they're just going to be outgunned?
I think anyone can win though. The draft seems like both teams have their own distinct ideas, like different sort of ideas, and very solid overall. Both have their own play style, so we'll have to see in terms of execution who actually gets better decision making, gets the better rotations, and ultimately uses that small little advantages to actually secure them the game. So we'll see Wang score here, starting to block the creeps in the middle. Tiny gets the bounty rune. This is actually very unusual, because we usually see the Whisk getting the bounty rune and the Tiny blocking the creeps. They're doing it the other way around.
Is there any reason to do it the other way around?
I mean, you don't really need the bottle that early though, so you're still gonna get it at what, in 30 seconds time when you have your, the goal increment. So I don't think it's that big of a deal, but it's definitely unusual. So maybe the Tiny just wants to, get the level 2 faster, I guess. That's the plan, so they can actually try and get a kill on the Medusa. They have a lot of ways of stacking Ancients so with the Beastmaster. So I think Ancient stacking will be something that Bulldog will be focusing on doing, so that he can actually give Loda a much needed income burst later into the game when he gets split shot.
There's going to be the fairly tanky Medusa in the mid lane. Of course, Mystic Snake did get another buff recently from the 25% increase per jump up to 35. I know you were playing with the Merlini Medusa yesterday, Winter, and
The
that,
mango
that snake
Medusa.
does some damage.
The mango Medusa.
Yeah, I don't know about the quadruple mango build, but I definitely know the Mystic Snake hits a lot harder now when it gets towards those last few bounces.
It's like, what, 500 damage? I think the last bounce at level 4.
Yeah, it's definitely 500 plus. It's a lot.
And so looking at this thing, if the Medusa can keep dropping the Mystic Snake on the Wisp and the Tiny, it should set her up in a very decent and good phase in the game though, as long as he keeps the Tiny low on mana so he can't really have the 2-spell combo.
Also, just a tanky hero as well, not something you can easily burst down. And we're going to see Loda grab that early point in the mana shield, so he seems to be doing okay versus the Tiny Io. We'll take a look at the other lanes. Bulldog and Ake going up against Artez and always want to fly here. Razor Rubik versus a Beastmaster Lich. Historically, Winter, any dual lane with a Lich almost always is the better lane, at least in the early stages. Do you think the Lich lane was the edge here? Or?
Well, they're going in with the Drain, but yeah, historically with the Lich you want to win the lane because Lich is a hero that is fairly one-dimensional. You want to be able to pick the hero just so you win the lane or you cripple a certain core in the game. So I think it's really important for the Lich to be able to do very well at the start of the game to secure that early game for the Beastmaster and to limit the farm of the Razor. And Beastmaster, MR Bulldog is going to get lifted by the Rubik, but no static link yet, still on cooldown, so just a little bit of harass here. And Bulldog has already opted to go for the early boots to just be able to run away from the Razor, especially.
So this, of course, leaves S4 bottom up against Goritz on the Clockwork and your Queen of Pain, as you would expect, off to a very dominant start in the safe lane. Kind of reminiscent of Secret, where they would often put Arteezy mid S4 into the safe lane. And
yeah, and we'll see
where showing a similar level of flexibility here.
We'll see where the Tusk moves around from here, though. He has got a sentry because he found out that the camp was blocked. No camp had spawned above the pool camp here, so looking to deward that. He already has his level 2 though, so he could look to rotate. Loda getting chased down by the Wisp and Tiny.
Oh, no.
Oh, his Salve!
Loda didn't actually need it there. No way CIS rejects could have killed him, and well, he does have the
And
bottle now, but he's just gonna walk all the way home.
The courier was like being used on the bottom lane as well because the Tiny, sorry, not the Tiny, the Tusk was grabbing his sentry, so that actually forces Loda back to base. That
doesn't have a TP. I imagine we may
that
see
is
someone
a huge,
buying one for him.
That's a huge blow for him.
We'll have the gold fairly soon. Reduced costs coming in handy, but definitely slows him down a bit. And keep an eye on the Tiny Io. No stacking as of yet, Winter.
Yeah,
single stack.
They're really focusing on in the laning phase to make sure that the Medusa doesn't get too many last hits here. And Iceberg now going to pop his Salve. And we see Vangscore here setting up to get his pull, but he didn't destroy the trees though, so he's probably just going to get one pull here on the medium camp. Top lane, Arcade is going low, and the Plasma Mafia are going to finish him off.
Just barely clipping him now. Artez on the hunt as well. While that's happening, my nuts works together with S4 to kill off Goritz on the Clockwork. So 1-for-1 exchange, but your first blood going the way of CIS rejects. And well, Artez extremely low here, going to ferry out an extensive amount of regen to try and turn things around. And well, the Tiny Io, meanwhile, they made a little journey towards the top rune. They grabbed I think a bounty rune for Vangscore, and it's a double damage awaiting Loda bottom. This will make him a little bit more of a threat in that mid lane as my nuts tanks a rocket early on.
And things are not looking good for them. For Alliance on the off lane though, Lich going down there, it's not something you want to see because you give away a lot of experience when you go down as a Lich. You're constantly dark ritualing to get an XP advantage over the opponent, so when you go down you give away a lot back towards the opponent.
And they continue to pressure Loda in the mid lane. The toss back to the tower, looking for the big plays here from Iceberg, but still Loda has the DD rune. Mana shield only now depleted, but dropping quickly to this. There's going to be another toss soon. He pops the DD, but he hasn't been able to heal from the bottle. Jumped up and down, and Iceberg will throw him back to the well. Loda down, a 2-to-1 advantage. And that DD rune also wasted, so won't be able to use it to farm or even potentially to go for a kill.
Yeah, he's not having a good time though. He has decent amount of CS, considering that he TP'd back to base before that, but he's definitely not doing well. I think they actually expected the Medusa to actually do far better than this with the Mystic Snake buff against the Io Tiny.
Yeah, I mean, you go back to the little things. If he has his bottle there a bit sooner, maybe he doesn't have to walk back to base. Yeah. He's a higher level. He doesn't die. And he has extra farm. He maybe has the boots by now.
If he actually had boots there, he wouldn't have died for sure.
Now the boots are up, but I guess the good news for Alliance is that S4 is absolutely wrecking bottom. Gorit's still getting his levels here for the most part, level 4 already,
Yeah.
but
And we see Loda still constantly being able to, even though he died there, he's still being able to harass the Tiny and the Wisp together with the Mystic Snake. So starting from now on, I think he should be doing much better in the lane. He's going to be able to get much more CS, and 6-minute rune going to spawn. They should be able to secure this, so the Wisp is not.
uh-oh, Iceberg rushing in. It's a level 3 toss, and it should be enough for the kill on Ake. One more club, and they even snagged the regen rune as well. Loda unable to assist. The immobility of the Medusa working against them. But while that was happening, Goritz killed off solo by S4, who did not even have to expend a Sonic Wave for it.
He killed the Tusk, actually. He was killing the Tusk.
Oh, 1 for 1, you're right. So 2 for 1 overall, again favoring CIS rejects, but S4, I mean, Winter at this point, 40 CS, he's the leader in terms of net worth in the game, has the level 7. You gotta expect it's gonna be up to S4 to make a move sometime soon.
Yeah, I think the biggest move that he can make is to use his Sonic Wave on the Wisp Tiny. Anytime they have a dive on Loda, he's gonna TP in. I don't think they can afford to dive the Medusa at this stage.
Bulldog, he's out pretty far here. They start to get the damage flowing against him.
The Queen is
Plasma
coming
Field
from?
level 3 as well. The TP may come, but Bulldog is gonna bite the dust. Ake the one to rotate in.
Wow.
S4 stays
Wow,
bottom.
wow. He did not actually rotate at all. Huh, that was really surprising. He would have gotten an easy double kill there with the Sonic Wave and Fan. The Scream of Pain.
Instead, he sits bottom. Looks like the Orchid build-up is the way he wants to go here, grabbing an early rope
mid
of the
lane.
Magi, and they are jumping on the mid lane again. Toss back onto Loda, but snowballing forward is my nuts to try and turn this one around. Here comes the rotation. He was waiting for the opening on mid. He jumps in. Blake Scream as well. Gets off the Queen of Pain ultimate, finishes off Vangscore, now turns onto Iceberg, has the Shadow Strike for this, and it looks like CIS rejects have finally overextended a little bit, though S4 in danger of going down here, has the bottle charge. Should be okay. So they, in the end, bait out the 3-hero rotation mid, but it's rewarded with a Tiny and IO takedown. And while that's happening, Bulldog, again, getting lashed in the top lane. Not really having too much fun against the Razor.
And they haven't really been doing a lot of like ancient stacking. I was actually expecting them probably to focus a lot on ancient stacking for the Medusa, but so far S4 is going to start the first one. It's going to look to get a regen rune, hopefully at top lane, to make sure that he can actually continue to be out in the field.
No, Bounty Rune, not quite what the Doctor ordered, but he'll take it as the Spirits. Oh, Iron Charge comes in, but he does have a couple of extra bottle charges to counteract that. So should be able to barely survive here. S4 forced back to the well. And while that was going on, an Invis snagged by Goritz, who's also cracked level 6 as he swings on towards mid. Nobody showing in the mid lane right now.
It's waiting for Dusa to probably come back.
And speaking of the Dusa, there is a small big stack here.
Dusa actually went to bottom, so he's not going to be coming back to middle, but S4 is the one coming back to middle. This is going to be a really difficult kill. It's not easy though. They need to hope, maybe use the cogs push back so that the Tiny can actually land the dual combo. But
Or they'll just steal the stack. why gank that elusive Queen of Pain when you can just kill the creeps that won't run away? But S4,
yep.
he's walking into this. Gorit's pushing back with the conks, threatening him if he tries to go, and his Iceberg commits. They get off the shards as well. Not really trapping anyone, just trying to deny some creep blast hits. And now Gorit's on the move, has the Mango available if he wants to hook for this. S4 blinking back, dodges the stun. And now looks to commit forward, and Loda rotates in. Beautiful time to pop that Stone Gaze. Isolating two. The Tiny, the IO, both down. Alliance defend their stacks in force. Even Bulldog was roaming that direction, but his services not required.
that was in
Goritz
the
just
end
backs out in the end.
probably not worth it because it was only a 3 stack they got, and they lost both the Wisp and the Tiny there. He probably
And
should
this
have-
is also time
I
they're
think
not clearing their
he
own
probably
stacks
should-
or
yeah.
stacking their own
He
jump.
probably should have relocated to at least save the Tiny there, but in the end he got caught in the Stone Gate, so he couldn't actually, just waited a little too long there, so he couldn't save the Tiny at least. If he were to able to save the Tiny, yes, it would have been worth it. Relocate comes top.
Double boards are waiting. Bulldog, a bit slow to react here, starts to run away. S4 rotates in, but Vangscore fairly tanky. Already has the urn up. Inake with the side-swiping ultimate, able to get the job done. They finish off the IO, but Iceberg's in pursuit, and now stealing the Scream of Pain. A toss forward onto Bulldog, jams it in. Iceberg collecting an additional kill. Now they lift back S4, the Stolen Scream going to work. Oh, Iceberg just late on the Avalanche, but still committing. Has the toss available. It's only a level 2 blink. There's going to be some time here before S4 can get out. But does Iceberg find him? At the long glass, tracks him down. Scream, toss up and down, smacked with the club. And down he goes once again. A triple kill for Iceberg. 2,800 gold banked. Everybody from Alliance maybe thinking about rotating, but it would have been too late.
And
Now a blink.
the blink comes out, so it's going to allow him to focus on the Lich and Queen of Pain. These two heroes are actually fairly squishy right now. They can actually beat down in one combination plus one earn charge or the waste balls actually hitting them. So they have to play really, really careful right now for S4, especially when he's going for the Orchid Rush, so he doesn't have as much HP as compared to a Queen that's going for first item Aghanim, so because you don't have that point booster.
What do you think of the Orchid Rush this game? Is this your preferred build on the Quap?
I'm actually not so sure though. I mean, it's this type of game I actually prefer to go for the Aghanims because you want a HP to actually survive the burst. And there's no like elusive hero, you know. There's no Ember, there's no Storm Spirit, there's no like Anti-Mage. You don't really want to get the Orchid to actually lock someone down. Obviously you can use it against the Rubik to get an easy kill or the Wisp, but I feel like at the end of the day it's gonna make you have to play very carefully because you are very easy to kill at the same time. It doesn't offer you defensive capabilities, you know.
Well, we'll see how it works out for S4. Still only one Oblivion Staff up as he tries to keep up with Iceberg. Finally goes to clearing the stacks. A bit late for a tiny IO, but they will clean them up. And with this, 1,400 gold bank can either get the drums or even just straight into the Ags. We'll see what the choice is going to be here for Iceberg. He's definitely finding his early farm.
He should be going right into the Axe. If he wanted to go for the drums, he would have already gotten a bracelet. I think he's going to go for just Axe and just start with a point booster here. So 12-minute rune going to spawn for Bang Score at top. Let's see if he finds a useful rune. Haste rune going to be bottled by him. And they're going to try to make a movement top. They have a ward spotting Bulldog's position.
Now, Bulldog has a Hawk spotting there, so no such luck. The shenanigans of the rejects will be denied. Goritz, while that was happening, committed a hook shot, it looks like, but my nuts, it seems, able to snowball himself back to safety. Does live to tell the tale, and now gonna TP himself home. So, haven't really seen much activity from Goritz pay off here, Winter. He's gone for 2 rotations, 1 bottom, 1 towards mid, and no kills yet to show for it.
The supports on CIS are just much more... They have much more like levels at the moment, so...
Relocate top, making their move, but Ake's ready. He's in position with the Chain Frost. Need to be careful about how they approach this. Well, they will be. Nope, maybe not. Clearful enough. Base Score tanks an extra unnecessary bounce of the Chain Frost. That will cost him his life, though S4 may also pay for this. Plasma Field coming in, S4 thrown away. So in the end, it ends up being a beautiful bait, trading away just a measly IO for an extra Queen of Pain kill.
That blink in was just a one-way ticket. It's still getting up.
One-way ticket back to the well. Ruh-roh. They're going to try to engage on this, though. Snowball comes out. The shards are there, trapping Artez, and then the Cogs even further blocking off the path of the retreat. There's only one way, and that way is forward for the rejects, but with Loda here and a DD rune at his disposal, the Sigil slowing them down, the rejects are rebuffed and probably about to give up at least 1 more kill, if not 2.
I think both of them are going to die. Beastmaster is teleporting in.
They do have always want to fly coming, though. He's stolen the shards. Maybe he can block off the chase.
I don't think so. I don't think they have any chance.
Iceberg's definitely dead.
Yeah, Iceberg's definitely dead, and the Beastmaster is going to come down, and he's going to probably roll Goretz, and they're going to get the kill as well.
Let's see, can Goretz hook himself away? Well, they say sec, but the unpause comes. I guess the sec is over. Goretz just going to get roared off the bat, and they get the double kill. Good call, buddy. Now the axe is stolen. Only level 2, and the Sigil even flowing. Always want to fly down.
They might lose the Rubik as well.
Uh-oh. Trying for the TP out. Is there any way to cancel this? No, it doesn't look like it. They'll make it home, but still. In the end, Alliance able to collect some cleanup kills. Looked like it was going to be a nice win for CIS Rejects.
And this Medusa, even though he didn't have a good start in the laning phase, but he has been making really good rotations to make use of that gaze. You know, it feels like a gyrocopter rotating in with an ultimate at a good time, securing his team a team fight.
Yeah, I think a poor man's gyro, but
It's
been getting the job done.
The cooldown is longer, but it's very...
And it's obviously much less damage.
Yeah, it's very similar, but he's way more tankier than a gyro at this stage of the game.
Loda still no? Actually, there is an ancient
I
stack.
think he has a Yasha
Hasn't
completed.
used it yet, though.
Yeah, he has a Yasha completed, so he so far has the highest net worth on his team after successful team fights back-to-back. And he's getting into the right direction, though. I think late game wise, Medusa against Tiny, Medusa actually has the edge over Tiny because...
Okay. Oh, how dare you try to run through the jungle. You're mine! Iceberg finishes him off. Actually, Goretz sniping that kill. Maybe not ideal, but still they will engage. The snowball comes forward. Bank score about to be brought back. They have to finish him off before this relocate ends, and they will. Also hunting for the Iceberg double kill, but he just squirms away to the bottom. He'll escape. And Bulldog, it's his turn to rotate. He swings on towards mid, but You know, Loda didn't finish off the Ancients. He's been very active, as you mentioned, Winter. Now rotating on mid. And Iceberg there to greet him. Where's that toss back? Oh, no! Rejected! Goritz is denied by his own teammate.
We just found our BTS moment of the day.
That was not the plan. Well, at least they get a tower out of it. CIS Reject, still something going their way.
They probably wouldn't be able to kill Loda though. I'm not sure though. He still had his ulti in that fight, so maybe he.
Well, he might have lost the mana with the mana shield though.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, true. He didn't have any stick charges left, so they probably get the kill there. But rather unfortunate. So CIS Rejects are going to continue to pressure the tier 1 tower here. They have very good wards behind. One of the other wards in the Radiant jungle got rewarded.
S4, he jumps into the avalanche toss, but not the one who got tossed, so he's able to survive it.
Yeah, he has to be so careful with his blinks though, with this item build against so much burst, especially against Tiny.
And he's even on agi treads when he makes that jump. Or it might have been in treads there, but it definitely wasn't strength.
He has to get like BKB as fast as possible. Iceberg jumping in with the dagger again.
The boar saving the day here. Prevents Bulldog from taking the bonus toss damage. And now, on the way out, Iceberg trying to retreat to the north, but he's lost his precious IO. Iceberg's going to go down again. A lot of kills being hemorrhaged here in quick succession. Rotating in Loda additionally, and they even chase forward. S4 able to finish off Always Wanna Fly. Looked like Goritz wanted to get involved. He even committed a hook shot.
He didn't get the connection.
Missed again, it looks like.
Yeah, he didn't get the connection there. That would have been crucial though. Probably would have been able to kill the Queen of Pain because the Queen of Pain already blinked forward. His Clockwork so far hasn't had the best game. He has been missing a couple of really key hook shots for his team. But right now the Razors has 1600 gold, so we'll see whether he goes for that mech to help his team against what Alliance have. The Lich ultimate and the Queen of Pain ultimate has been doing so much of AoE damage in all these team fights.
So it's kind of late for a mech, but you still think getting one would make sense here.
Yeah, I think it's still really good against the AoE. Loda's going to get jumped here, but the Avalanche not connecting on Loda.
Series of miscues from CIS Rejects. The tower not even denied. Loda casually plinks it down with his bow and now rotates into the woods here.
This Medusa's going to be starting to...
She's ahead of the Tiny.
Yeah, become a big problem.
Generally not ahead of Tiny if the game's even halfway decent at this stage.
They have the Frost armor now to actually further buff him. So Arcade just got an extra level and he starts to get his Frost armor. So this Medusa is going to start to be a really tanky and pesky problem in team fights. So right now, with the Gaze and the Sonic Wave, I think Alliance has much superior team fight. They have much more damage even with the Lich ultimate. So I think it's not going to be a time where CIS are going to look to team fight before they have BKBs online on their cores.
The whole Alliance squad is making a movement now. Smoked up, my Nuts, Ake, and Admiral Bulldog congregate and start heading towards top. Iceberg will be the first hero they detect. Instantly silenced by S4. Does reveal the Orchid, but this rotation, a lot of heroes showing up. Thanks for Iceberg hiding behind the tower. Now Iceberg going to show his pretty little head. There is that defensive relocate play, but
they need to relocate.
They're hunting for the IO. Alliance know he's the key. The Hawk gets killed off though. Oh, they got the vision for the snowball. And now Bangs goes trapped out in the trees. Uppercut ends him.
I mean, that's the
and Iceberg just says, "See ya."
That's the same thing.
I
right?
can't help you, my friend.
You just want the Wisps to die there, and the rest of the team is continuing to split push. Tiny survives, continues farming. So this is the most ideal situation that CIS want happen. The Tiny not dying, the rest of the team continue farming, pushing. They even got a 1-for-1 tower trade in the end of the day. So all still going really well for CIS Rejects. And they're going to go for an Sangye and Yasha, SNY on the Razor instead of the Mac because they're looking to split push more, move around with more mobility. So they're not going to look to take any team fights at all.
And that's for your clockwork for Goritz. He's got to step up if they want to get kills. We've yet to see a single hook shot into a relocate kill this entire game. It's now 19 minutes in.
I think right now...
I mean, who else starts the fights for this team? Tiny, when he starts them, seems to be dying for the most part.
I think right now, whenever they want to start a fight, they have to make sure that Alliance is not grouped out together. I don't think they stand a chance if Alliance have at least 3 heroes together because all their heroes are really good at fighting together. And CIS are just going to look for small skirmishes, maybe get a singular pick-off here and there with the relocate and hook shot. There's no way they can take any form of team fights right now.
Do you think CIS Rejects can just out-late game Alliance here, or
it's
is farming good enough, or do they have to also get kills and objectives?
We always talk about Wisp Tiny late game. It's always really unpredictable because you can do backdooring. There's so many possibilities available when you talk about the Wisp Tiny game going late. So I definitely feel going into late game, there's a lot of uncertainties, even though if you look at Alliance lineup, they have very good late game as well. But against a Wiz Tiny, it's really difficult to predict who will come out on top.
Alliance now committing a second smoke. Only one still available for purchase in the shop as they swing towards the bottom half of the map. My nuts in front. Bulldog close behind, worms his way into the trees. His smoke will break. He gets the Hawk up, but this is right when Iceberg blinks in. Quicker to react is Bulldog, who roars immediately. My nuts snowballing onto absolutely nothing. Now Gory's hooking and engaging. Has a blade mail picked up. This may cost my nuts heavily. My nuts dropping low. My nuts will go down in the end. The plasma field clips him. Ends up cutting him off. Now, the Avalanche toss combo used onto Loda. Well, actually, just the toss. The Avalanche coming soon. He's out of mana here. He's actually in a lot of trouble. Where's the backup for Loda? They're too busy hunting Artez, who zones the others back. Now Iceberg committing forward. S4, one more auto attack would finish him, but the My Nuts turns around to try and save the day. The Blink now up on the Rubik already. It's a snowball steal and a jump in from Always Wanna Fly. Trying to get an additional kill here out of this fight. This will be a dieback on the Tusk, I do believe. Indeed, he did commit a buyback for that one. So CIS rejects. They get the 2-for-3 exchange with the dieback on the Tusk, and they come out 800 gold on top.
Yeah, that fight was just way too split though, because Alliance were like you mentioned, busy dealing with the Razor behind, and they left Loda in front. Loda got the gaze off, but his team was just way too far to actually back him up, and the Sonic Wave didn't really connect on the rest of the heroes. I think it only just connected on the Razor.
I really like that play from Artez.
Yeah, it was a really good play, even though he died, but that was a necessary play, and they're gonna get this big price, the Ancient Stacks. Oh my god, this is gonna be such a huge loss for Alliance here.
Oh, S4 doesn't want to give it up that easy, but Iceberg, oh, he's actually roared. He's dropping quickly.
Man,
Will end up falling.
It's still worth it. It's still worth it.
Still almost the entire stack, and yeah, Vanguard does make it home with the TP.
It's worth it.
So they missed, it looked like 2 creeps there at the end. Probably got like 80% of the gold.
Yeah, it gives Tiny another 2,000 gold in the bank even after dying, so we'll be looking to see maybe Tiny wanting to go for armor as his next choice of item to deal with the Medusa, the Tusk physical damage, and even like some of the Beastmaster's damage.
Even that Inner Beast Star, now
Yeah.
a Necro Book under construction. He's opted for an early gem. Aki, the friendly neighborhood support who supplied it.
Yeah, I think it's really important because you want to have map control against IO Tiny. You don't want them to have vision in certain areas that they might allow them to get a pick off.
Oh, Always Want to Fly. This is a very confident movement. Has the Stolen Snowball, but he gets silenced. Goes for the lift. Ends up getting caught out. S4 gonna finish him off.
Man, that was such a risk.
He had the ward, so I
Yeah,
guess
he had the
felt
ward.
safe.
He saw 3 heroes there, and they only had.
He could have lifted him and blinked away. He could have just not gone in, but I guess he forgot about the Orchid.
But what was he trying to do? He was trying to steal the blink.
And then, yeah, but he could have used his Blink Dagger sooner anyway. So
And there was only Clockwork next to him. And if you talk about Tiny hasn't, like, he's still in his grave, so there's no relocate with the Tiny coming in. So that was just a really questionable play there from Always Wanna Fly. Not sure what he was actually trying to accomplish there. Maybe he was just talking to his teammate and didn't realize what was actually going on. Stuff like this happens a lot. That's why you need to be able to multitask in a team game. The art of multitasking, LD.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty sure you are very familiar with it because you've been doing your own production for some time and doing some solo casting.
It's definitely something you want to throw on your online dating profile. You know, excellent multitasker under pressure. That's how you get all the Dota ladies, Winter.
I appreciate that advice, my friend.
So we have a pause here. Looks like Vanguard disconnected. No indication as to why. How's it going, buddy? You've not been sleeping much. You stayed up all night pubbing. Did you win? Did you gain some MMR? In the Merlini stack?
Yeah, some.
Yeah, some.
And we had a really fun time.
Okay. Anything else you want to tell?
All our mango,
You had a long night with Merlini.
yeah, our
Yeah.
mango adventures. So okay, so it looks like Vanguard is back into the game. No time for stories, LD. Only time for the game.
No time to talk about your mango party. The 4 mango build, man. I don't know. I want to believe. I think Bulldog's experimented with that a bit as well, actually. On a more topical note.
I think it's actually really good though, honestly. It might sound silly, but
Yeah, I mean, you don't normally have random gold, I guess. Slightly limits what you can do. But
oh, the ward is going to scout out the movements here from Alliance. Artez
very fast, very angry Artez. Look at the damage coming up from 133 bonus, 189 plus. Gets the quick kill.
shot?
Maybe Bulldog Gory. Nope. Hawk was blocking him.
Good play from Bulldog.
Good micro there. But still, Artez coming online and not a hero we've really talked much about at all, Winter. But we mentioned the one moment where he had a great zoning play. And more importantly, he's just a beast right now. And they are looking to go here. Lift, relocate, not coming just yet.
Wow.
Oh, just Rubik trying to style on S4.
And he's really playing with fire. Bottom lane, it looks like CIS rejects are going to be successful at taking down the tier 2 tower. So Roche will be open for them whenever they feel like they can actually go. So I think ideally they want to force Alliance to be split up on the map, push out all the lanes and find a really good timing to Roche. They're actually going to go in right now. Okay, so the ward's going to spot out the movement there.
Everyone from Alliance is alive, but they are rather far away.
Can they do it fast enough, LD? That is the most important question.
Roche beginning to get towards the 50% threshold. They don't have any minus armor here. The IO slowly losing HP, popping bottle charges. Hawk will scout about the entire squad. Thinking about rotating in.
They need Goretz to make space.
He's moving forward, has the double damage rune. S4 about to get caught out. He blinks in, he drops the quad bolt off the bat. BKBs as well, so the hook does nothing. Gore's just not finding his openings, and now Loda jumps in as well. Artez going to engage here, but he's caught out in the middle of the river. Roard committed on and will drop 2. Always want to fly now. The next man in, it's going to be 3 heroes sacrificing their own lives. Possibly a 4th. The clock drops as well. An Iceberg trapped in the pit. He has the Blink Dagger, but it gets canceled. He may die twice here. CIS reject. They get an Aegis. They get a Roche, but was it really worth it? Blink Dagger.
Can he get out?
Can he even jump out in time? Who's going to have the quicker reactions? It won't be Iceberg. He is melting to the tusk. And Snowball will finish him. My nuts S4 combine, and suddenly S4 is godlike. 12, 2, and 10. What a train wreck
that was
for the rejects.
Such a risky play. I was really... I didn't feel like they could have finished it on time, though. Because they didn't, like you mentioned, they didn't have a medallion. They were just relying on the tiny sprite click. No double damage rune. Usually when you make this kind of play, it's either you have a medallion or you get a DD rune. That is like the only 2 ways that you can actually make that play successful. Or the Clockwork actually...
Or they have a couple heroes dead, but they were all alive.
Yeah, or the Clockwork is able to somehow get a hook connection and get a clock block so that you buy... You have to die, but you buy enough time for them to actually get the Aegis and just get out scot-free.
This has been a real off game for Gory. It's a lot of missed hooks. That fight hooks the BKB Quap.
He didn't even get the hook on the BKB Quap. He hooked his teammate the Razor. Yeah, on the Razor.
But I guess maybe didn't know there was a BKB there. But
I actually felt that it would have been much better.
He could have gotten the other 4
heroes.
Yeah,
much better to hook the other team, like the rest of the teammates of the Queen of Pain when she blink in, so she's isolated and no one can actually come in to help the Queen of Pain. That might have been actually better for the Clockwork there. So we'll see immediate smoke again from the CIS reject, looking to get probably some wards down. We see always want to find wanting to get some deep wards down.
That's 4 in position here. Does jump back and now always want to fly silence. Caught out a bit. They even relocate Bankscore forward, but he's already at about half HP. S4 jumping in. He sees that squishy, delicious wisp and will quickly eviscerate it. Tiny try to turn this one around. Clobbering my nuts, but can't finish him off just yet. It's up to the Razor. Artez gets the job done. They lost the Beastmaster and the Tusk on the other side of the fight, but that leaves a double damage Loda. Man, he's starting to rival S4, but for Loda, it's all about the DD runes. The triple kill from Loda high ground. No mischance there. No siree. Goritz next on the list. That'll be the gem. A full 5-man wipe. Again, double wiped. Aegis blown up in the last fight.
And
this game is getting ugly.
This is the power of the Medusa at this stage of the game. Coming in with the double damage rune, just able to clean up. And it's just really, I feel it's just CIS reject still just being very over-eager in accomplishing things and trying to get kills when they could have just been focusing on speed pushing. I mean, the idea of getting a ward down is, I can't say it's wrong. They wanted to get vision down, but going for a kill in middle lane, which such a risky position, was just... Man, now Alliance is going to reclaim their ancient stack that they lost.
Are we going to see a reverse ancient wipe? Last time this happened. Oh, no, it's just going to be always want to fly dying again. S4 has just been... You know, we wondered, was Orchid the item? He has gotten so many free kills out of this Orchid. Rubik just not respecting it and getting punished.
Rubik is like the main hero that the Orchid is going to allow him to repeatedly kill all the time.
S4 now. All of a sudden, a fully completed Ags, Orchid, and BKB.
We rarely see S4 get Aghanim's on Queen of Pain though.
And he didn't even rush it. He went back for an Ags, but he's gotten so many kills so quickly. 15, 2, and 13. They have 31 kills. This guy has been in 28 of 31. That's just magnificent, honestly.
What more can you say about that? Just a really good.
S4 is back. I think that's what you could say.
That's just a really good performance on the Queen of Pain this game. So right now, CIS rejects are just opting to go back towards their speed pushing, which I felt they should have done a lot earlier. But it's gonna come at a huge cost of. They should be able to get a 1-for-1 trade here. I guess they're even gonna be able to secure the tier 2 at top much faster with the Tiny. And Alliance is gonna rotate Minets back to try and at least stop the teleport from Vangscore or try to get a kill here.
Shards come out, they commit the snowball, and now the double TP, and as S4 engages, Vangscore again caught out,
Hook
silenced,
shot?
and
Hook shot?
will go down in the end.
He missed his hook shot again.
And Goritz not able to cancel that TP.
Oh my god, that was so crucial for him to cancel the TPs.
Has he hit a hook this game? Honestly, I can't remember seeing one. I mean, he hit his teammate in the Roche pit, but I don't think that counts, Winter.
He's just
Goritz is, I mean, I've seen this guy have some monster games, but this is just not his day, or at least not his game.
We've seen so many good clockwork performance over the course of the week at ESL, but this game, definitely Goritz not performing up to par. He needs to at least land his next couple of hook shots to get his team back into the game though. If the game continues to spiral out of control, the Alliance high ground push will come and it's going to be super difficult for CIS Relax to defend it. They don't have a secondary item on the Razor yet.
And the
saving
Tiny still doesn't have AC either, although it looks like he's just about got
Let's
the
see what the
gold.
Razor wants to go for. Is he going for Shivers? Or he's going for... Okay, BKB. Just BKB.
That's 4. Hunting, but Goritz will TP out. Dodges away from that gank. You see S4 running around with a lot of swag at this stage. Really not concerned about anybody catching him out. It's a bit of an issue here for the CIS rejects. They don't have the best control for a BKB quap.
Hook shot?
You just giggled to yourself as you said it, Winter. I think that says it all.
It's like calling... Oh, vacuum is a stun.
I remember when we used to have our little back and forth. You're like, well, they have poison touch.
They have shuriken toss.
Come on, LD, you idiot. Yeah, not the last time you called me an idiot.
Technically, it's a stun.
Technically. It contains a stun component. You are right, my friend, as always. Winter was always right. Alliance grouping up mid, and so too are CIS rejects. We may have a bit of a skirmish here brewing. Hawk jumps in. Yeah, Iceberg says, I can kill this. This is something I can handle, but he gets slowed down. And now Iceberg, if he actually dies because he blinked in for
double
a
damage.
this would just be the worst possible way to lose a fight. Shards come out, barely failing to trap Goritz, but they get the Necro 3 deployed, and they will successfully deny a single rune. And as you mentioned, there's a DD rune bottom. Not sure anyone scouted it in that
think
active engagement.
Queen was nearby. Maybe he didn't see. Maybe S4 just didn't see
S4
them.
saw kills. He was, I guess he wasn't looking at the rune.
So next item for the Queen should be either an armor item or he decides to go for the refresher to just blow the wrist up every single time. It's either he goes for Shivas or AC. Is anyone else building those items? Medusa should be just going for his standard stat heavy item, so I guess S4 will be going for either the Shivas or the AC.
Haster now snagged by Loda. It's been like a Haster or DD every time I click on this guy. You know, it's honestly unbelievable.
He got it from his teammate now.
Yeah, that's for his... He's leveled up. Now he can give his teammates his own rune luck. That's his special ability.
I wish you're gonna give me more than rune luck, my friend.
I'm not sure. What more could S4 possibly offer?
Give me the kills, of course.
Ah.
Give me all the kills, the 15
I mean,
kills.
he's 15-2-14. I feel like he's been spreading the love. It's not like he's 32-1 here or something. Is that not good enough for you? You want to see a support quap in the house?
You know, I remember back those days where you try to give the carry the kill all the time. Oh, give me the kill, give carry the kill.
That was the days when it would not be unusual to see a Crystal Maiden with like just a pair of brown boots, magic wand, and wards at like 30-40 minutes into the game.
Yeah. Gone are the old days, man. So right now, CIS rejects are just continuously just trying to speed push. I don't think they have any moves left available. They can't really take a head-on fight. They just have to rely on speed pushing, and hopefully Clockwork's gonna land a hook shot this time around. Goretz pops his blade mail.
They relocate in, trying to isolate and lock down Bulldog. Glimmer caped and kept alive by the Lich for now. They toss forward, always want to fly, but that's into a terrible location. He'll end up going down. Iceberg, not exactly what he had in mind. Now bank score deleted by the S4 ultimate, and they rush forward, trying to finish off Iceberg before he can retreat. No more stuns available. At the very least, the Tiny lives to tell the tale. It just feels a bit too late. Connects on the hook, but Alliance is 5-man. You mentioned CIS Rejects couldn't fight this winter. That was 10-15 minutes ago. They've only gotten stronger since then. And now Alliance, they're on your doorstep. How do you handle it?
So you first pop your glyphs, and then you have to... I don't think they can handle it. Without the Wisp and the Rubik, they cannot go near and take a fight right now. They're gonna drop S4 pretty low. Is there any earn charges for him? Okay, they have
Still has the BKB. Hasn't even had to go below the 8-second charge yet.
Yeah, they're probably going to lose this tower for sure, I guess. Oh, maybe not. There's enough time for both the supports to come back online, and Alliance is just gonna back off. And so it's gonna be the AC completed on the Queen of Pain hook shot.
Alright, another hook from Goretz. He's heating up, but is there backup for this Blade Mail deployed as well? They need some detection. Always want to fly. Has the Sentry Ward available, and they will drop Bulldog down. Finally finish him off. Artez, he's gone in even deeper, but he tanks a Walrus Punch. A lot of damage. Oh, a beautiful snowball touch. Able to keep the Razor alive. And in fighting condition now, S4 blinking, frantically scrambling. A wild avalanche off the mark. S4 hangs on to his massive kill streak, but Ake, well, he may not be so lucky. Chain Frost is cooling down, though. This could be bad for the Rejects. They're going to snowball in again. Ake, Chain Frost, always on, only on to always want to fly. No bounces, it seems, as My Nuts gets the retaliation kill. A 2-for-1 so far. They're really hustling for these extras. And My Nuts, surrounded and clubbed, will die. 3 heroes for 1. Artez barely surviving. That snowball, man. That definitely bailed them out.
Yeah, and more importantly, they lost their gem though, so it's gonna allow the CIX rejects to actually further control the map, and Arcade immediately just buys a new gem, realizing how important for them is to just always have true sight to actually make sure that there's no wards and there's no vision on the map, even though there's no Glimmer Cape on any of the CIS reject heroes.
They do have a gem right now as Goretz. Yeah, just hooking creeps. Well, guess he doesn't think he's going to need that for the next minute
Come
or
on,
so.
he's been landing his last few hooks.
He has, but now he's got no hook for 40 seconds.
So they're gonna be able to scout out this ward here with the gem that they actually stole from Alliance, and looking at the net worth from the Tiny has caught up with the Medusa and the Queen of Pain, so things are looking pretty good for CIS Rejects. They finished a BKB on Iceberg as well, so he's gonna be able to stand and fight. But most of the damage that Alliance has is going to be able to go through his BKB. I guess he's just going to be able to avoid the disable, the snowball from Tusk, and the spell damage obviously from the Lich.
Your Lich, Ake, almost level 16 already. He's getting close to that level 3 Chain Frost, the 1 minute cooldown.
This Medusa is so tough to take down with the ice armor and the assault.
Always want to fly. Zaps the Hawk, but the Snowball's going to hunt him down. The Shards come out while mid-Snowball, and then punched, and Iceberg tries to turn this around. They engage directly into the full complement of nukes from Alliance, and Tiny can't handle it. He's down. Io's next. It's 4 dead as the Clockwork came in with just collateral damage. Gem dropped as well. As quickly as you think CIS Rejects may have slowed down Alliance's progress, they get another essentially team wipe, and will take a Roche for free on top of it.
This is the time where you go to your chat wheel. I immediately regretted my decision. Sorry, team.
Yeah, the entire team missing.
But why would they actually go in there to fight? To just sit, just to save a Rubik? If you're trying to save your Tiny, I understand that move though, but you're trying to save a support.
Well, they had a BKB on Tiny. He didn't get it off, but like you said, I don't know how much it really matters. You've got the AC on S4.
It really didn't
A lot of
matter.
physical damage.
It's so difficult for them to take a team fight still.
Even the Solar Crest, so you can amp up what Loda's doing with his right click.
I think this is just game though. They're gonna lose 2 sides of Rax here.
It just feels like too many missed opportunities for CIS Rejects, too many mistakes. Definitely didn't seem like a draft issue. The lanes went okay, but yeah, they're just getting punished in the fights now. As always want to fly. Silenced again. The Orchid has been his downfall this game, and again S4 delivers 17-2 and 18. They just keep on pressing and hunting the little ball. Little ball will fall. Next on the list, probably Artez. Roared up, can't even pop the BKB in time, and if he tries, it won't matter. Gory's not going anywhere. Loda just farming heroes right outside the tier 4 towers. Iceberg being slowed down. BKBs to little avail. They've already caved in the racks. And Alliance potentially looking for more. Loda stands to fight. He's letting Artez deal quite a bit of damage here. Maybe some cleanup kills. Loda backing off. There's the toss. Avalanche also available, but the Glimmer Cape doing a bit of work here. Ake taking the lion's share of the club damage. They really do want that gem, but at the same time, they also want the Loda kill, and Loda has overstayed his welcome. He will pop the Aegis once. Can they kill him a second time? That's going to be the question. S4 is back. He's got a BKB. He's got his ultimate available soon. Artez likely to go down here. S4 commits, finishes him off. It was all a bait. It was all a trap. The clock can't get out. They lose 2 more. No buybacks on anyone. Iceberg just watching Alliance retreat, but the Hawk's going to scout him out here, and now he's likely to drop too. Iceberg down in a matter of moments, unless Always Wanna Fly's got something incredible up his sleeve. Vangscore does rotate in, courtesy of the relocate, even popping the mech to try and keep them alive, but Loda keeps on crushing his way forward, trying desperately to finish off Vangscore. Will miss uphill. Might not have gotten the kill anyway now. Iceberg with the counterplay, tossing, but just can't scratch the Medusa. Your armor, no match for the Snake Lady, and down he goes again. 4 heroes fall. Loda, he's just not leaving. Neither is S4. 22 and 20 in a 40-minute game. He's been involved in 40 kills. A sensational showing from the captain of Alliance here, and I think the rejects, they've had enough, Winter. They'll call it here. Just a brutal thrashing at the end.
This Medusa, have to say, not a good laning phase, but in the team fights, he proved to be really useful too in securing them all those early crucial fights that it felt like the Tiny got a really early Blink Dagger and CIS rejects were in control of the situation. But then the Medusa came into team fights and started to claw back her way into the net worth department because she had a lot of like, I think she won 2 crucial early team fights for his team by coming in with the Zone Gaze both in the other side of the jungle. So I think it was a really crucial part of allowing Loda to come back into the game after the disastrous start because his bottle got jacked by the safe because the Tusk was using the sentries.
Yeah, that felt like it was actually one of the huge turning points in the early game, but they still had their moments after that to come back.
It's like in a pub, that happens, you're like, my bottle, dude.
Yeah, Loda, give him credit. He didn't tilt. He ran back to base. He TPs in. He does die, maybe an avoidable death in most situations, but Alliance just played very poised, and man, S4, he had the 1v1 matchup against Clockwork, but you don't often see a player take advantage to that extent. That was just absurd.
I think this game is just more of it's not like CIS we just got outdraft very, very badly. It's just they didn't really get their execution on point. The Clockwork hook shots early when they were in control of the situation of the game, they missed a couple of really key hook shots, and I think the Rubik was overextending a lot of times. He was really over eager to get vision done for his team. Yeah. And you know, a lot of couple of like team decisions that were, you could say, questionable from them as a whole, so you can't really blame like a specific player, but it was just like CIS Redux, they were presented the opportunity to control the game, but they just didn't make the right call.
They did not grasp it. They did not seize it.
Yeah, they did not seize the opportunity.
Slip away. Well, with that, Alliance now leading 1-0 in their best of 3, guys. Winner will move on into the round 2 of the winner's bracket. Loser drops down, not eliminated as of yet though, but CIS Rejects definitely up against it here. We'll get ready for game 2. We'll be back in a moment. You're watching the Summit for Europe. Stay tuned. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Summit 4, where Alliance is locked in a heated battle with the CIS Rejects. Alliance took game 1 here, but the CIS Rejects at several points were leading. Felt like they had the momentum, but Winter, they let it just slip away. So now they enter game 2, trailing 0-1 in the best of 3.
And you let my coffee slip away.
So I drank a glass until after I drank the last cup, buddy. Delicious.
You don't have to ask if you're a true
It's
friend.
actually very hot. I burned my hands. That's what I get for rubbing it in here. But game number 2, we've got a draft brewing.
You see, guys, this is
Let's
what
see
I
the
get.
teams are picking up.
This is what I get at the house.
We flew you all the way out here to abuse you. Hey, Brian, how would you like to make Winter a fresh pot of coffee?
I'm just kidding.
Kate
I'm just kidding.
is such a nice guy.
No, I'm just kidding. I have plain water. The best source of...
How much did the water company pay you to advertise that? Winter selling his own sponsorships on the summit. This summit brought to you by water. I guess fire is not going to do very well in America then, huh?
It's the most healthy source of hydrating yourself. So, water. Plain water.
I mean, I don't think anyone could possibly argue with that, but that's like the most obvious statement. Your body is literally 75%
And
water. I guess water is probably the healthiest thing that you could
My
drink.
water speaks for the trees.
I
We
don't
can
know.
see
I
na-
run off of whiskey and motor
we
oil,
can
Winter.
see
I don't know what you're
nature's
talking
prophet
about.
now. Let's go back to nature's prophet. No motor oil shenanigans.
You are playing against Alliance. You do not ban Nature's Prophet in the first phase.
And you give nature's prophet water so he can actually grow his trees.
And then get Mega Treants. Did you see the cast where me and Merlini were casting Nature's Prophet? So we had never seen the Aghanim's in a pro match, and so we thought every unit that he killed would spawn a big Treant with the eggs, but it's only heroes.
You think that's...
So him and I, we spent like 20 minutes like, where are the Mega Treants? Then it
you
turned
think
out-
it's like the dark arrow? You remember in Warcraft
Yeah.
3, there's like the Drow Ranger has the dark arrow spell where anything you kill spawns a
Oh,
skeleton.
you can summon the skeletons, yeah. When is someone going to remake Warcraft 3 and Dota 2? That's what I'm waiting for. That's when everything goes full circle. It started as a Warcraft 3 mod, Dota 1. Now it's Dota 2 is its own game, and now we need to recreate Warcraft 3 inside of Dota 2. That's some next level shit.
Someday, my friend, someday. So, back to the draft. Night Stalker, Winter Wyvern.
Yeah, first overall pick Night Stalker. You know, a lot of people were talking about Night Stalker and Slardar as the two new hot offlaners. You've said several times, you're on record now, that Tusk is the best overall hero in the patch if used correctly. When are we going to see more Night Stalker Slardar, or do you think they were a little bit overhyped and not quite as good as what people said?
People are still trying things out and experimenting. So, as of now, I feel Night Stalker has been like on the rise. People have been realizing that the potential of the hero, and he could be the new Red Exterminator, the Prophet Exterminator. So we'll see how they actually run it. I think teams have been mostly running the Stalker as position 4, even though I feel there's a lot of potential as a position 3 offlaner like you mentioned, but even though position 4, he still feels like he's doing his job, you know. He doesn't need too much farm. He just needs a couple of levels and he just runs around pressuring the opponents with the vision control, you know. It's all about controlling the vision, and when you don't see anything as the poor nature's prophet, how are you going to rat?
The Bulldog Hunter. What else can they get to fully ruin Bulldog's life this game, Winter? Batman. A hero that Alliance like to run.
Batman plus Night Stalker is actually a really good combination together because Stalker provides the blind Bat. Bat is supposed to be able to see at night, but he's blind. So Night Stalker will solve that problem for him, and Bat will be able to fly and pick out his target and punish the big rat, which is the Nature's Prophet.
Yeah, and then you definitely have the Vision game in your favor at that point.
Enchantress ban, that is interesting.
Do you think Alliance would run a Prophet Enchantress?
They're worried about a push, but if you're banning Enchantress,
Yeah, because they banned Dragon Knight, so they're definitely worried about
they're
a
worried
push.
about push because Night Stalker, you generally want to play a split push game so you can use the vision to pressure the opposing team which is trying to split push. So it's quite alright to ban out the pushing heroes, but if you ban Enchantress, why not you ban the Chen, right? Chen is much more of a bigger pusher compared to Enchantress. Maybe they want something that the Enchantress specifically counters.
Huh. Ember Spirit. This is not a hero that I have seen much of from Alliance.
S4 plays the hero though. I don't think I've seen Loda play the hero.
Yeah, I was just wondering, is it Aloda or S4? You don't know the enemy mid either, so maybe they will
Seconds remaining.
leave it open who goes where. We did see S4 safe lane last game, but yeah, normally picking Ember,
Time.
you have like a clear Ember Spirit player on the team, but I don't know. It's not like a signature Alliance hero
Yeah,
to me, the way like a S4 Quap or Storm might be,
I think
or even Puck.
Disruptor could be a good way of dealing with the three heroes here. It's good with dealing with the Prophet, the Ember as well with the Glimpse, and the Silence from Disruptor is also a good tool against Snowball. So we'll see what they actually go for as their supports, or they will just be choosing to run Wyvern and the Night Stalker as their position 4 and position 5. So we'll see what they actually go for here. Probably a call right now. Dire side, maybe you go for the TA, go for Roche Control, or you go for Darkseer with the Wyvern, so you have the Iron Shell on the Night Stalker. Plenty of options here open for CIS rejects.
Do you think it's a good TA game? They've got quite a bit of control for her.
Turn to pick.
She will struggle with the refraction being not much of a use against the Ember, but she still provides the Roche Control where on the Dire side, teams have been generally mostly prioritizing in getting a hero that can actually allow the Dire team to use the Roshan as much as possible. So we see the Shaker here, so I guess it's gonna bump the Night Stalker into... I guess you can still do it position 4 and off lane of Shaker, so
10
it's still
seconds
unclear, but these three heroes are going to be a position 3, 4 and 5. So the last two picks are coming from CIS rejects are their biggest heroes, the 1 and 2 position heroes.
Fourth pick now for Alliance.
Time.
They've already shown 2 of their cores, and it will be a Shadow Fiend to round things out, so it looks like it may indeed be a Loda Ember Spirit.
Support Tusk.
This is not really... Well, unless they're going greedy and jungling the Prophet, but I have not seen much of that.
I actually feel Jungle Prophet has potential. We just need to find the right situation and
It's
the right
definitely
item.
game losing in pubs, but... So if you want to run the Jungle Prophet in a pro match, Winter, what are your considerations?
I'm going to try and kill the
10
courier,
seconds remaining.
Uh-huh.
and the second thing I'm going to try and do
The
is...
Cloud9 strat, the Bone 7 strat.
Yeah, that's the first thing that I have in mind. The second thing is the Roche Control, and because you're always fighting, Prophet can actually provide the +1 all the time in the early game if you're looking to win the early laning phase and transition into a push. Prophet provides you that, and he's going to be able to build a medallion for the team to go for Roche. So I think the hero has potential in a support department, but probably not in every game.
Wind Ranger at your
CIS
service.
rejects back their way up into a Wind Ranger.
So they have a lot of stun lock.
Yeah, they have some serious control here for the Ember. Blink Shackle, Echo,
Man,
Fissure,
I am-
Curse, Silence.
I am feeling the Slada, the big fish here for CIS rejects. They have so much physical damage coming out from the Wind Ranger, and even if you play Earthshaker as an off-laner, Enchant Totem plus Amplify damage.
So then you run a safe lane Slardar as a farmer,
Yeah, safe lane Slada with Wind Ranger mid is fine. I think it's really good combination together.
and it's great with the Wind Ranger, the Slardar pick.
And you
Brood is the ban for Alliance. Surprisingly, we forgot about it, Winter. Brood makes it through until the final ban stage.
and they are actually, you know, CIS rejects actually have all their position 3. Oh no, Huskar?
Alliance.
Serious?
Turn to pick.
Huh? What are you talking about?
They ban AA. They might want to go for Huskar. And
Oh, I thought you. I was like looking
Man,
around for a Huskar.
you are the one with the coffee.
Alliance now, 5th pick.
They have to pick their support, so...
Yeah, what's the...
And the other reason could also be they didn't want them to have the AA plus Ember, start of his Chilling Touch, and the Ice Blast against the Embrace, so it might not be a Huskar.
I think it's more about that, because they also have the Prophet.
So we'll see what Alliance goes for. I guess it's going to be an arcade hero. If you want to go greedy, you go Visage. If you want to go for less greedy, what's the arcade hero? CM, you go for CM. They have heroes that could make use of the Arcane Aura from CM. Shadow Fiend is a one happy swagger fiend when there's CM Aura.
They would be very frail if they go for a Crystal Maiden. You've got 5 squishy heroes. Well, Tusk's semi-tanky, but if he's a support, going to be a bit underleveled. And they opt instead for the Dazzle, so a stronger laning support perhaps.
And a lot more, you know, synergy with the Ember and Shadow Fiend. Weave minus the opponent's armor.
And maybe countering the Slardar pick, if that was what CIS Rejects had in mind.
So they could also still go for... I think they don't really have much lockdown. Slug might be also a good pick. And you have Night Stalker, so it provides you night vision. Slug is really, you know, a hero that excels during nighttime. You have the extra vision, so there's some sort of synergy between having Slug and Night Stalker. And you have like a dual core, Wind Ranger and Slug, which is very good at fighting early. And Dazzle is just easy pickings for Slug in team fights if you can actually find the Dazzle and force the Self-Grave, and you can actually target the other heroes.
Yeah, then you just turn on the Ember, blow all your big nukes to lock him and the Shadow Fiend down.
There's a lot of really good options here for CIS Rejects in their draft.
It's a very solid opening for them. Just a lot of control, decent lanes, good AoE. They set themselves up for a good 5th pick option here, but now they've only got 5 seconds, and they go exactly the direction I was about to say, but just didn't. Spectre.
Yeah, right.
Everyone talked about Spectre on a more serious note, Winter, as like the potentially one of the new big carries of this version. And the first few days of games I cast, a lot of teams were first phase banning Spectre, but we haven't really seen a ton of Spectre play, nor has the hero felt that dominant yet. So I'm curious what your thoughts are on the Spectre.
I mean, his lane is weak though, and against a Prophet, because what Alliance could do this game is you run Prophet plus... Okay, Tusk. I was going to think about the possibility of a Prophet plus Dazzle, and then you heal bomb the Treants, but then it's going to be a Tusk Ember safe lane, so it's kind of awkward there. So it's probably going to be a Prophet plus Tusk. I think this two together is going to be so troublesome for Spectre. That's why I kind of expected someone that is much stronger in the laning phase. Spectre is really weak. He's very strong later in the game. Very good synergy with their team, so he's going to be able to help the Night Stalker and Wind Ranger get pickoffs here and there with the Haunt, and he's himself also a good hero at picking off the nature's rat that Bulldong likes to play.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Summit 4 European Qualifier Action. Alliance taking on CIS Rejects in a best-of-3 showdown. This is a winner's bracket round 1 matchup, so the winning team will move ahead until the round of 8. And with that, we get underway. Alliance on the Radiant side always want to fly. Going to be moving out for CIS Rejects on the Dire. Gets into the enemy jungle right away, and this is all the ward metagame. Gets on a pretty aggressive ward. They didn't actually see him plant it, but Loda does see him walking away.
They should be able to get this D-ward because Loda saw the position of the Night Stalker. There's no reason for the support to come this deep.
I guess since you say that, the next level play is to ward like over here and then run even deeper just to make the thing, but they miss.
No.
They have one more sentry on Ake.
So, will he place... Okay, he's going to place the second one. He's pinging there. Maybe? Nah, he's not going to try.
They want this bounty rune first and foremost. Iceberg was the tiny last game.
They have Earthshaker here, so it gives CIS Rejects the much better control.
Loda's got to be careful as well, and he knows it. That fissure just devastating around the runes.
Oh, Artes is going to try and contest the rune at top with the dagger.
Daggers in onto S4. Who's got the better clicking abilities here? It is Artes, S4.
Wow.
Massively outplayed.
Well played indeed. And
double bounty route. And it's a Shadow Fiend mid too, who's not rushing the bottle.
And we're going to see...
Really needs that gold.
Yeah, Bulldog is going to try and pull the creep wave, I guess, with the Treants as well. And with all the heroes at bottom, it's going to allow the Prophet to have a really good start towards the game. He started out with boots, and he's going to get the creep wave disrupted with the Treant. So I think it's going to allow the Prophet to have a really good start this game. So we'll see how much the Bulldog gets done in this lane and how much he's going to be able to limit the farm on the Spectre here.
Early on, Bankscore tries to get aggressive in the mid lane, but he's met with stiff resistance as Ake pushes him back. Some good harass there for him. So there's going to be an early 2-on-2 skirmish in the mid lane as they try to secure the Shadow Fiend's good start.
Dude, the mid lane is never about 1v1 anymore nowadays.
It really isn't. I miss those days. I miss the just, like Ferrari versus Dandy, just pure 1v1 skill matchups. No supports getting into the mix. Iceberg going in deep early. He's got power shot. He may first blood us for... Oh, just barely misses. Would have been enough for the kill, I believe.
I don't think it would have been enough though. Will be close though, not sure. But at the end of the day, he still missed it.
Meanwhile, Ake, he's already tanked one Void. He's going to run back to the tower here. A secondary Void could come out. This little Dazzle getting punished early on.
So right now, I guess if you look at the laning phase, Ember should be fine against the Shaker. Mid lane, Shadow Fiend against Wind Ranger should be a wash as well. It depends who outplays another. And top lane, Prophet, and it's going to be the Prophet and the Dazzle. Like I was like kind of thinking whether they would do this, but in the end of the day, they're going to do this. So this is going to put a lot of pressure onto the Spectre. But at the same time, because they left Loda alone, It's Shaker against Ember.
Snowballing in mid. Nice catch there with the shards, but Iceberg runs the correct way. Where is the Prophet? Not rotating just yet. Bulldog does have a teleport available, but doesn't see an easy guaranteed kill. So will allow the Wind Ranger to skate away. And what do you know? An illusion rune for Iceberg, though he doesn't have his bottle yet. Bit unfortunate. S4 also just first to ferry out some tangos here. Not anywhere near his own bottle, but the top lane skirmishes where the real action will occur. Ake's already skilled up the heal early. We saw that previously. So no way to escape the wrath of the Night Stalker who rotates in. I believe was spotted on the movement there. They do have a ward up near the rune.
Yeah, and we see Nuts coming back to bottom lane with his level 2 acquired. He has 2 spells, so
they're going in. You wanted to see Bulldog move around Winter, and you're going to get it. Goreeds gets punished as Nuts and Bulldog combine.
They have a decent size of a creep wave here to actually do a lot of damage towards the tier 1 tower at bottom end.
No Reign of Basilius yet, unfortunately, but still a pretty good creep wave.
Top lane is going to be occupied by Ake meanwhile, so making sure that they are efficient at the same time trying to take down the tower, not wasting any amount of experience across the map. So far S4 and the Wind Ranger CS is almost the same, so it's going to be more or less even, but Shadowfiend is going to start to pull ahead once she reaches level 5, but always 1 of 5. Gonna try to set up another gank onto the SF here.
Wrapping around, S4 in danger, has no easy way out. The Shackle won't latch because they already cleared out the trees though, and the power shot whiffs. Iceberg not getting the job done there. Allows S4 to walk away.
That's the one moment, yeah, where you say deforestation actually saved my life.
Yeah, it's it's the timber saw's problem. You delete too many trees and you'd have nowhere to timber chain to. It's an odd predicament. He wants to kill trees, but sometimes he doesn't want them to be dead. I think there he could have just power shotted first and then shackled anyway because he had to slow from the void.
Are they going to chase down this? It seems pretty deep. Seems pretty deep. So they're not going to commit to it. But always 1 of 5 going to camp his 4-minute rune, going to get a bounty rune and nighttime looms. And he doesn't have mana on the Night Stalker though. Are they going to be able to trap Nuts here in the trees?
No, yes they are. He's snowballing and quickly runs away from the Night Stalker. Fissure off the mark. Come on, CIS rejects. Hit your skill shots if you can even call Fissure that. They may get the kill anyway. They will. Munching on my nuts and then walking away. Iceberg going to the top rune. Trying to back off.
Man, that happens all the time. Sorry, I can't help it. Mid lane.
S4 being dove mid. Always want to fly, getting aggressive here. Goreeds in position as well. They do snowball on 2 heroes. Turning with the totem. Ake may go down. 1 more auto attack, but Nuts there to slow him down. There's the power shot. Piercing through the heart of the Dazzle. May end up being a 2 for 2 though, as even Bulldog arrived to salvage this. Looking for the trio block, but doesn't quite get it. Had the sprout, didn't use it. Goreeds with the tango. The shards need to be a good catch, and they will be. Runs back in for the enchant totem, and 1 more auto attack will go down. Although Iceberg may try to punish Nuts and charging after it now. Void comes out. Can't quite get the job done.
The name alone is just entertaining enough.
I was so happy when I heard about the new Alliance roster, I'm not gonna lie.
Dude, come on.
Control yourself. Winter, keep it together, my friend.
So always 1 of 5 going to be placing another sneaky ward down here, scouting the SF's jungling process, and it's going to allow him to steal some sort of experience here and at least going to put him closer to level 4 so he can actually have at least 1 point in crippling fear. It's very important to get the silence against Dazzle. It's going to allow him to shut down the Dazzle from saving his teammates.
Yeah, Dazzle suddenly up to level 4. That little skirmish really paid off for him.
Yeah, we haven't really seen too much from the Ember. Ember has reached level 7, has 1,000 gold in the bank. But we've seen a lot of players going for the bots build recently, which is the most greedy build. But he's going to go for the standard traits and into probably Aquila or even a drums early.
The other thing here is that Artez has been left alone. Bulldog's been here occasionally, but he's the leader in terms of net worth at 6 minutes already, hitting that 3k gold mark. He's gotten a lot out of this laning stage for
And
what should have been a tough match.
If you have a Spectre getting a good start, it's always a really, really good sign. And Loda gonna try and chase down Goretz here at the bottom lane.
This is not an easy gank to run away from. That Flame Guard has plenty of time. Chain's coming out. And they do TP on the Prophet here just to help secure the kill. Has an Echo Slam available, but nothing he can do. Just goes down without even getting off a single nuke. Meanwhile, mid lane, really thought that Shackle was going to latch, but the luck is not with Iceberg here. He still goes in with a Focus Fire. May finish off S4 regardless, hanging onto the stick charges. Now lets them pop, but Iceberg has the wind run. Will back himself away. Only a level 3 power shot, though. And he lets it fly. Not enough for a kill.
Interesting skill build. 2 points in Shackle, 1 point ulti, 3 points power shot, and 1 point wind run. I guess he just wants the extra lockdown duration for his Focus Fire.
Yeah, you normally see the max power shot by now.
Yeah, it's just a lot of damage and the range, you know. It's just a very, very valuable skill in the early stages of the game. So, Goretz now still not having a really good game. He has 3 deaths to his name, and
It's been I mean, this game, it's kind of a tough matchup more than anything, but...
And so now we see the Ember joining his team for more action.
They are rotating. 3 heroes on the smoke as they engage on the mid. S4, again, deftly dodging away from that power shot. He's done a great job of not getting killed here, because there's been at least 2 or 3 extra kill opportunities where if a Shackle hits, a power shot connects, he goes down.
And I think they shouldn't have taken the rune there. The Wind Ranger was actually going to run down to grab the rune.
Or it's, oh, not again, but better him than the Spectre, I do suppose. No mana for the Fissure, but does, oh, get it off, get it off. He can't right now. He's kept alive by the Cold Embrace, but also prevented from fissuring. Will fissure onto Loda. Doesn't have the Flame Guard available any longer. Maybe they can go for the Ember Spirit kill. A Spectre tried to join the fight, but gets chained up here. Loda has a Remnant available, so they don't get the Spectre. They clean up the Dazzle. Most importantly, the Earthshaker survives while Iceberg is busy diving the mid lane with a double damage root, surging forward. Where's that Shackle shot? Where's that power shot? Shackle shot on cooldown. He needs this one to hit. He doesn't let it go.
He needs to TP
He
out.
could get the 2-hero kill potentially with a Shackle, but instead S4 turning, raise number 1, Focus Fire, gets the job done. Ake didn't have the grave. Iceberg, he might even get an additional kill here. Still's the power shot, still's the Shackle. Shackle's gonna connect power shot right through Ake's heart and has the win run, scurries away. The plays. Had a slow start, but Iceberg is heating up.
He definitely did not need to TP out, my friend. The Grave was on cooldown. That was huge for them. If they had Grave, probably Iceberg, there was no chance he could have made that play, because SF would have been alive and he cannot dive that far. But because they didn't have the Grave, it allowed that situation to happen there.
And they also got a great aggressive ward up previously, which helped give them the vision.
I mean,
Something
I guess
Alliance
this-
apparently don't realize.
I guess this would give them a really good idea that there's some reason.
Actually, they have a sentry. Yeah, Ake's on the hunt. They didn't paint it out, but they do know. Still, it's more than paid for itself. Slowing down S4, accelerating the Wind Ranger. Now picks up a point booster. Meanwhile, Night Stalker cobbling together an urn, and now we'll activate the darkness. S4 needs to run very soon, and he runs, but it's the wrong direction. It's right towards trouble. Dazzle in position here. They silence up S4. 2-hero Shackle again from Iceberg. Excellent connection there, and now might get my nuts as well. Rotating himself back, but always want to fly. Also threatening the Dazzle with the Urn Charge going. Ake likely to go down here as well. It's still nighttime. One more Urn Charge. No, the Void will get the job done. Goretz trapped out a bit far, has the stick charges. He's lumbering in. He's getting aggressive. Even the Haunt engaged as they jump onto Bulldog. They need this Ember Spirit to get some work done in this fight. Bulldog down. Iceberg still driving his way forward, collecting kill after kill, and it might be my nuts next. Now chased out the urns there. Artez is going to go for this, diving towards the tower. The power shot cinches the deal, and Loda, Remnants in and out. Ooh, kind of close to getting caught there on the way back in, but will end up surviving. Still, kill after kill, piling in for the rejects. And this is without the Wyvern. Vinescore just getting his experience up top.
Yeah, this is just the power of their lineup, being really mid-game and early-game eccentric, and they're really strong right now with the Night Stalker, Shaker, and Wind Ranger, and Iceberg really putting up a really good performance on very good rotations with his Wing Runner, making very good movements and landing very good shackles in along the way as well.
And they're spending so much time trying to deal with him. It's not... It kind of reminds me of a Broodmother, where you see like 3-4 heroes chasing after one, and Iceberg to some extent has played that role, though. Very different heroes conceptually.
Except that he doesn't have 8 legs.
Mm-hmm. Well, maybe he'll fix that. I'm still surprised the Brood didn't get banned until 5th ban. Because these teams don't value it as much.
And you really like all those spider heroes. Nerubian
Weaver?
Brood
Yeah,
Mother,
Weaver.
Nyx
I
Ass-
want to
Nyx
believe. Have you
Assassin.
seen the Ags Weaver in a match? I saw one game where it actually was amazing.
I saw a combo Weaver plus Alchemist, and Alchemist gave the Weaver Agonims, and Alchemist was the tank in front, and they had time lapse for the Alchemist.
Dude, it's so good. It's so good if you can get it at a reasonable time.
Oh, mid lane, Iceberg once again contesting S4. Is again gonna
He's
let
got a
a shackle?
shackle angle here. Not going to go for it.
Oh, curse.
But they get the curse. They don't need any sort of special shackle shenanigans. They'll let one fly just to set up a power shot. That's the death of S4 once again. Now trying to keep Iceberg alive, healing him up, but it's walled. Ember is trying to burn him down. Iceberg surviving, has a wind run available soon, has a shackle. He pops the bottle, the negative earn charge applied, but gets the shackle off of my nuts. Needs a little bit of help. Iceberg has one stick charge and will go down in the end. While that was happening, Loda also trying to find some additional kills here, but forced back by the Spectre, who rotated in, cleaned up Bulldog, who has not really had an explosive game. Another death for the Donger. Artez up to 2,300 gold. This is going to be a fast Radiance if they don't kill him soon.
Really looking good for the CIS rejects this time around. Their safe lane carry off to a brilliant start. Loda didn't actually get as much, even though he has 0 deaths, but because he's been constantly participating and they've been losing the fights, he's been losing out on farm a lot.
And this Shadow Fiend, Winter, he has no space to farm the jungle.
He just got pressured so much by the Wind Ranger. Like, Iceberg just managed to be so aggressive all the time, and obviously always want to fly had a big part to play. He plays all the deep boards and he was always constantly making his presence felt in the mid lane. It was never a 1v1 matchup.
That's exactly what you want. Keep S4 down. And this is... Imagine how much worse it could have been. Iceberg, he missed a couple of kill opportunities
no,
early.
the ward again spots out the smoke.
First it saw them running up into the lane, then it saw them backing off, and now it even sees the smoke, so they know the full Alliance squad is in rotation. Haunt on cooldown here for 40 seconds, but they have the Night Stalker to scout things out. He'll reveal the smoke, and Goritz gets into position. The curse up in 12 seconds here. Fissure gonna fly. Hits Bulldog as well as barely clipping Lotus, so they quickly will delete the Nature's Prophet. And now moving forward onto S4, the 2-hero shackle again! Sensational play from the Wind Ranger. She came from around the trees. Power shot will get them a 4th kill. And now Loda jumps here, there, everywhere. They still have vision on him. If he sticks around top, they could potentially complete the team wipe. And GG! A 14-minute GG from Alliance. They throw in the towel. And perhaps not unreasonable considering Artez had 3k gold already.
I still did not expect them to give up though. They have a lineup which scales really good into the late game. But I guess Spectre is a huge problem.
The Spectre and Wind Ranger were really fat. So it did seem a bit early, but I guess you can understand from Alliance's perspective.
It's still a bit early though. It just felt like they were really frustrated with the game though. Especially with how Wind Ranger was so aggressive in shutting down the SF and the Dazzle TP in without the Grave, and off lane Prophet plus Dazzle. I guess they were supposed to do much better, but they gave up first blood because Night Stalker made a rotation. He started at bottom, it was like a 2-1-2 initially, but when he saw the Prophet with the Dazzle at top lane, he immediately realized that he needs to be at top. He needs to settle the Spectre's farm. So they made a really good rotation overall.
What does Alliance need to do differently going into Game 3? Is it just individual rotations? They missed on the D ward, also worth mentioning near mid early, which kind of hurt them.
I think the vision more, then they need to actually make sure that they actually expect more of the vision, you know. This 2 games, especially even the first game, even though Always Wanna Fight died a couple of times trying to place wards, but you could tell that they were really focusing on trying to win in the vision battle. So I think Alliance needs to focus on getting much better vision, and in the first game they had the Beastmaster, which allowed them to win the vision war.
They had only the Treants this game, which is not on the same level as a Hawk.
They sort of had to win the lane so that the Prophet can actually win them the vision war.
Well, he spent a lot of time trying to help out the other lanes, and did give the Spectre quite a bit of space. So, guys, with that wraps up game number 2. A quick one here in the books as Alliance will now have to go into a deciding Game 3. CIS rejects looking to take the series 2-1. Alliance will, of course, be looking to do the same. He's Winter. I'm LD. We'll be right back. You're watching the Summit for Europe. We did it. We finally did it. We're on to game number 3. Alliance taking on the CIS Rejects Winter. Who's it going to be? Who walks away here with the win?
Beyond the Summit walks away with the win.
I don't know, man. Reborn. Everyone's clients are crashing. They can't connect. So the players, well, maybe slightly agitated here. But we finally have a draft on our hands deciding game number 3. Let's get into it.
Queen of Pain for S4 and Night Stalker in the dumpster.
In the dumpster. Yep, he is officially dumpstered for this game. Will not be available for either team. So what are the rejects? Well,
Okay.
here, Broodmother's available, has been ignored this series. Tusk is obviously available.
Dumpster probably too harsh. He's in the recycling bin for the next round.
Dumpster would imply he's deleted from Dota forever. Techies I'm okay with, but nice.
Terrorblade got dumpstered.
I'd say he's more like rusty and not in working order, but with a good mechanic and some love and care, could maybe be brought back.
Radiant team pick.
Do you miss Terrorblade?
No.
He gave me a look like, who the hell would ever miss Terrorblade?
Eternal Envy.
So now the Earthshaker comes out. The CIS Rejects grabbing the big old Tauren, and well, we'll see what they want to grab with their second pick. Not going Tusk.
I think Alliance would just pick Tusk if Tusk is still available in their next pick. More likely though, because all the games they've been really prioritizing picking the Tusk as a support. Haven't really seen the Donger actually play the Tusk.
Reserve time.
And they go Wyvern, so nobody wants the Brood Mama, but maybe Alliance will reconsider, and yeah, there you go. It was only a matter of time before she came out.
10 points for that impression.
Wow, you're an easy judge.
10 points for Gryffindor.
Have you watched all the Harry Potter movies? Are you a big Harry Potter fan? Who's your favorite character?
Hermione Granger.
Would you marry her?
Possible.
All right, so here we go.
The smoking hot Hermione Granger.
Smoking hot, damn. Strong words. So we see an X-Band now. Alliance trying to remove one of the potential counters to Brood. There's still the Sand King in the pool. Darkseer already gone. I know you've mentioned Tidehunter, but we are not seeing any Tides nowadays, Winter.
The tide has definitely gone.
10 seconds remaining.
Tide is
No Tide.
he's not even in the dumpster. He's like buried in the landfill somewhere far, far away.
Reserve time.
He's just really stuck in a bad place though, with a lot of better offlaners. And I think the biggest problem, I said this a lot, the cooldown on the ultimate is just a big problem.
Everyone wants to fight all the time now, and there's very few heroes with long cooldown
The
ultimates
Tide
that are
Hunter wants
popular.
to fight once in a while. That's his problem.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like, Queen of Pain is the long cooldown ultimate, but she can still do a lot without it, is the main thing. Whereas Tide, it's like, what do you really do? Gush and Anchor Smash? Whoop-de-doo-dah.
He just wants to be tanking with the Kraken Shell. But unfortunately, they are just much more better tankers right now. We have the Ogre, we have the Tusk, we have Night Stalker with the HP regen. There's just so many heroes that does his job better. The only thing he probably does better than everyone else is just the Ravage, which is
Reserve time.
once in a blue moon he comes out.
There's like a situationally, Anchor Smash can be really strong, like versus, I don't know, illusion-based
Life
carries,
stealer.
potentially, like stats-based carries.
Lifestealer.
Yeah. Morphling.
Morphling.
Radiant
What?
team pick.
I don't know. Terrorblade. He's decent against Terrorblade. The Anchor Smash. It's really good.
But Terrorblade has high base armor, and Anchor Smash is physical damage.
No, for the damage reduction, I mean, not for the...
Oh, damage.
Not for the damage.
I guess damage
For the reduction.
I guess damage reduction is good versus all carries.
Yeah, but...
What is your point of argument here?
No, but it's based on stats, right? It's not flat damage. It's not like... If you plus damage is not as good. And Terrorblade's always about the stats.
5 seconds remaining.
No?
You win. You win.
No? Do I... I didn't say I won.
You're like the watermelon fan gay.
You're the one who brings him up all the time. Alright, so Ember Spirit gets removed here by Alliance, and the Tusk does tank a second phase ban.
So who's going to be the vision hero right now for both the teams? CIS can look to go for the Beastmaster if they want to play the vision game, or Bat Rider. They definitely need something to deal with the Brood. There's still the classic Spirit Breaker plus Brute, I think, is one of the strong supports that can actually allow the Brute to be very, very threatening in the map.
They're not very mobile now, the rejects. That's the biggest worry. They've got good AoE, good clear, but not very good at hunting. So, well, if not a Bat Rider or Spirit Breaker, anything
or
else?
a Beastmaster.
We used to see a lot of Storm.
That guy is literally in the dumpster.
Too nerfed. Well, they'll go Shadow Fiend
The
instead.
Swagger Fiend, Radiant Swagger Fiend is always, I mean,
Well, it's always good until you lose that tier 1 bottom and then the Brood steals your jungle. Then it's tough.
they have the Shaker to constantly protect the Shadow Fiend. So I guess if you run Shaker as a support, he's gonna do a lot of stacking for the Shadow Fiend, and it's gonna allow the Shadow Fiend to actually. I guess you kind of want to focus on your side of the two camps instead of going too far into the Brood Mother's
5
area.
seconds remaining.
But they do not still have good heroes versus the Brood. I mean, Wyvern and Shaker has good AoE, but they are not good supports. If you're running Wyvern and Shaker as a support, it's not really good supports. It's not ideal supports to
Could be an
deal with
offlane
the Brood.
Shaker as well.
Yeah, I mean, still we're looking for something that deals with the Brood Mother.
Alliance just going for lane presence here. They get
And
the
burst
Lina.
damage against Core Embrace. You want to have massive spell damage against the...
Oh, they do now. They've got a lot of nuke damage. Only 3 picks in as well.
So right now, what do CIS rejects go for that actually can deal with the Brood? If you talk about carries that can deal with the Brood Mother, that's not really
Carries that can deal with her.
There's
There's
really not
very
many.
few.
You can go for Bristol, I guess. Bristol is considered a carry.
10
Or you can go, what else? Carries that can
Bring
go...
up the heroes list. Let's have a look.
No, I refuse to
You
do so.
refuse to do so.
I have this memory.
Legion commander is decent. Okay, they go Legion.
turn to pick.
It's not great though.
They have... You know, I hate to say this, but Duel and Winter's Curse is like kind of weird,
They're
right?
at cross purposes a bit, yeah. But a lot of lockdown though. They've got really good BKB piercing lockdown this game.
Yeah, but they need damage though. When you lock someone down, you need to finish them off, so you need a damage dealer. And if you run... I mean, if you run Shaker as offlane, then you need another support that deals massive amount of damage, like a Skywrath or maybe a Lion Finger, but all those supports are terrible against Brood Mother.
Reserve time.
Yeah. Alliance still don't have their initiator, so I guess looking at what Alliance will be going for here. We talked a lot about the S4 Bat, but I guess he's more likely to be the Queen of Pain player. Maybe like a Loda Slardar type hero.
Oh, Slardar sounds good this game.
They
And they
got
have
the
the,
Venge, so it could be a Slardar.
they get the Venge for dealing with the duel. You can actually swap the target out. And again, it provides, I say this a lot, dire side, you want to have something that helps you to actually finish the rush easily, so you can actually abuse it time and time when you're on the dire side. So Venge actually provides that. Not a hero we see too often nowadays,
And
but
they've got good lane presence already, Quap and Broodmother. So we saw a Venge Tusk yesterday, but I feel like the problem was that the lanes were kind of weak, and so Venge had to play the zoning role, and obviously that's just not Venge's strength. But this game, Queen of Pain, Broodmother, very strong laning heroes already, so the Venge will have a little room to roam about.
CIS rejects actually think that Lycan might be a huge problem because it's going to allow them to do the rush and just have that aura, a lot of damage with the Venge. And not only that, it's also going to strengthen the Brood Mother with the
10
Howl
seconds
on the
remaining.
field. So overall, I think it's a really solid brand from CIS
5
rejects.
seconds remaining.
So what is Alliance going to take out? I think mainly for CIS rejects, they want heroes that can deal damage. So you want to ban out... It's really hard to pinpoint what they're going to do with their heroes because Shaker can go offlane or support. But at the end of the day, they do need heroes that deal damage so you can finish them off during the curse and the duel.
Yeah, who's an offlaner that does damage that's available? I feel like there's very few offlane options at this point. I mean, look at the bans. Doom, Tusk, Darkseer, Night Stalker, Axe. Who remains, Winter? Who?
The Mountain King.
Huh? Offlane?
Yeah, maybe not a good idea. But yeah, they're going to ban out.
Okay, so they are expecting the support Shaker. Interesting.
So what else could work on the offlane that deals damage?
Also is going to probably, quite possibly, lane against the Quap if they don't want to send it mid. We'll see about that.
Damage off lane. Strength hero. There's still Undying. But Undying doesn't deal too much damage. It's not really a good choice here. Man, I'm struggling. Help! Norman.
Wind Ranger?
10 seconds remaining.
You're not blown away by the
Yeah,
possibility.
but it's still possible. It's still like not a bad choice. It's quite alright. Not that bad.
Reserve time.
Come on, Mr. Gorman, help! Okay, I'm going to the hero pool.
Ah! You cracked! I knew you finally would.
Centaur Warrunner, Elder Titan.
Bristleback? Elder Titan, huh? I know we saw a little bit of him at ESL 1.
Phoenix? Phoenix
Oh,
with
Phoenix!
Phoenix plus Wyvern?
There's no silences here. There's not very many instant, but I guess Queen of Pain can go Orchid.
Damn!
Oh, you're a god! Give this man a medal. This is why we flew you in, Winter.
You got the Legion.
How are you
right?
gonna celebrate your
So you got the
your latest accomplishment?
Come on, you got the Legion right. I got the Phoenix right. So 50-50.
50-50. All right, we're a team. Ride or die.
Right on.
Final pick though for Alliance. What's it gonna be here? The Phoenix comes out.
10
Do they
seconds.
consider like a
Silencer.
core
safe
silencer?
lane. But does Loda actually play core silencer? I'm not sure.
Remaining.
I mean, I guess it could be core Lina and then support silencer, but don't you feel like that kind of weakens your lanes too
Reserve
much?
time.
I actually like silencer as a core because it's good versus Phoenix. It's good versus the core embrace.
It's also good when the duel happens if you just interrupt it with a global, so there's no follow-up.
10 seconds remaining.
Could be an interesting choice, but yeah, exactly like you predicted, Winter. It's a Wraith King. Great call again.
I have 2
You're
lives.
2 for 2.
I have 2 lives. I don't care about a duel.
Yeah, it is the dual counter. Well, you know, we used to talk about Wraith King.
Man,
You remember when the Void,
the
like
aura-
Faceless Void, was really popular?
Yeah, the
Wraith
aura
King was the Doom counter and like the Chronosphere counter.
But he gets kited though a lot by core embrace. But
they
they
have Fire Spirits too. They've got so much control.
they
for
have
them.
a lot of aura. They have lifesteal aura for
Level 1 Roche. Here they go.
the summit qualifiers level 1.
Now,
Roche.
let me ask you: is there any chance of something unexpected here, like an aggressive tri-lane from Alliance? Is that something CIS rejects can handle?
Sounds like a good plan. Venge, Lina, Wraith King. Stun, stun, stun. First blood, double kill, triple kill. Broodmother versus Phoenix, easy lane. Queen of Pain versus SF, easy lane. Good idea.
All right. So exactly as expected, Loda heads towards top. So the aggressive tri-lane clearly about to happen. We're 2 for 2 here. Actually, 4 for 4. Undefeated on our predictions. Excellent work, Winter. So game 3 has begun. Deciding match here in the winner bracket. Losing team will drop down. Not knocked out, but has a long, hard climb if they want to be one of the 2 teams from Europe with a shot to qualify to the summit. Now, a pause, and yeah, I don't want to do that.
It wouldn't be a Dota game if there's no pause.
Yeah, especially it wouldn't be a reborn game if there was no pause.
Then you can actually live up to your name beyond the schedule.
I think the caster's already ensured that we did with the constant disconnects and failed loads. Thank you, Reborn. Yeah, you better apologize. Yeah, it seems Alliance may be getting a little frustrated here. Not sure if they have PC issues or what's going on, man. Maybe just needed a nice refreshing glass of
White
vodka.
wine. White wine. No, a screwdriver.
So Winter only knows how to make one drink, guys. He knows how to make one alcoholic beverage, and it is a screwdriver.
And
Tell me, Winter, how do you make a screwdriver?
Orange and vodka. And
But
I,
what's like the right balance? What's your?
I only know the ingredients.
Do you know like the right ratio of the orange juice? Do you have any garnishes that go with your
No, there's
screwdrivers?
no garnish for screwdriver. I know another drink, the Black Russian.
The Black Russian.
Yeah, coffee liquor plus vodka. Yeah.
Hmm.
Did I get that right?
I don't know. I've never heard of a Black Russian before. On pause. Let's get into it now. CIS rejects game 3. They're ready to go. Bulldog heading towards bottom. He'll be the Broodmother. Surprisingly ignored through the first 2 games. Banned 5th in the last one.
Mother comes.
Already the ping's coming out here. They're just expecting the mama to be in the neighborhood. Meanwhile, Loda scouted out by a Radiant Observer Ward as Goritz is going to hide himself in the tree line. Maybe looking for some sneaky early experience. Uh-oh. Bulldog. Gotta be careful, my friend. They dropped the sentry. They even had a dust available, but he will squirm himself back to safety. Still, though, they're hunting, and they get the extra lane ward down. Bulldog, only a single sentry, Winter.
Man,
When we saw
the game
some
before-
of the earlier Brood games, they had 3 sentries.
That was yesterday.
Yeah. Bulldog's not getting that kind of love.
That was from Pain Gaming. Tavo had 3 sentries to start the game with, and he's gonna place his own sentry in a really good spot. Looks for the opponent's sentry. Well played.
Yeah, they still have 1 more sentry to dust, but this will definitely help out the dog.
Very well played. So, very normal stuff. The Queen and the Shadow Fiend gets their much needed bounty rune. And we'll see whether the Queen is going to be able to actually dominate the SF in the lane. But it's going to be hard with the Shaker constantly roaming around and helping the SF with stacking and whatnot. Even if the SF somehow falls behind, he's going to be able to catch up. So the Venge is actually going to come towards the middle lane to help out the Queen.
Early on, they give the Shadow Strike to Iceberg. Now, last game, we saw him dominate on the Wind Ranger, but definitely not as easy. Definitely not an easy matchup here. He'll be on the Shadow Fiend side this time around. Riz Radiant has the Earthshaker to back him up a bit. You know, Bulldog heavily harassed in the bottom lane off the bat. Artez, definitely one of the better heroes for this laning stage versus the Brood on that Legion commander. Already, Alliance looking for the stacks here. Just going to start stacking up the medium camp. Started with some Centaurs. And meanwhile, Raidkin getting safe lane farm. Goritz about to get close to level 2 here. They have not scouted him out just yet. And they even have a lane ward, but this was planted after he hid in the trees.
Yeah, he came much earlier than that, so they didn't see his movements into the trees. But once he pops level 2, it's going to sound the alarm if they check the scoreboard. So right now, we see Shaker still constantly being around middle to make sure that the Shadow Fiend has a good time. But looking at CS-wise, S4 is still ahead. 4 last hits and 4 denies, and there's going to be a wave of creeps coming into S4's tower. So it's going to put him further ahead once he gets more last hits. So things looking good for the mid lane for Gustav at the start of this game.
And Artez also having a nice time here bottom. Already 8-2 up against the Brood. Bulldog, though, is getting his levels. Clips level 3, and, you know, this is how it always begins, Winter.
This is always how it begins. And the second thing that will accelerate his grip into the game is the rotations on Queen, and you want to see a support rotation as well. Maybe the Bench and Lina smoking going towards the bottom lane. You need that one rotation to help the Brood become a monster.
Iceberg definitely not having an explosive start here, though. And, well, they are stacking to try and help him get a little bit of additional farm.
They do not know that the Bench has an invis rune.
No Radiant Vision of that top rune,
But
unfortunately.
Always want to fly is here, though, to make sure that nothing is
Ake's
going
not
to
even going to
happen.
try for it. He's, I think, expecting the
This is-
Earthshaker to be there.
This is going to be a very early rotation to help the Brood, but it's probably going to get them a kill since the Donger has a lot of babies ready to go.
Yes. Bankscore trying his best to harass Bulldog back. Very explosive Splinter Blast coming out now. As Goritz will finally make his big run back. He has been scouted out here at long last. Heavy damage from Loda. Doesn't have the Rain of Protection, so 0 armor to work with. And in the end, the Venge not able to find the opening. Will back himself away. Man, Goritz almost in danger of dying here. That's a level 3 Lina, narrowly dodging the stun. Well, Bulldog scrambling away to the west.
Oh, they popped their
In
dust as
pursuit.
well. He should be fine.
He's got another web.
Yeah, he should be fine. Dust wasted, space created.
And they even rotated always want to fly down, so this will free things up for S4 in the mid lane, who is dominating pretty substantially so far. 14-6 to your 9-7 Shadow Fiend.
And you need to check his bank account. He has 2 stacks on either side. Oh, the courier!
Iceberg, gotta be careful.
His
Ake first
bottle!
lights the courier. Now he's gonna turn around, kills
Okay.
off the Shadow Fiend, and indeed did lose the bottle.
There goes his bank account.
Yeah, there goes the lane. Right down the drain. Ouch. Well, Ake very patient, Winter. He tried to make a move bottom, didn't work, comes back to mid,
Brother.
sneaks around.
Brother, it's 4 minutes.
Yeah.
No flying courier. Why?
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. It's not. Oh, Goritz. Not having the Rain of Protection, he just melts to the auto attacks.
And he didn't really. I don't think it actually paid off that well though, because like if you start out by blocking the creeps, you probably were able to get level 2 as well. So I don't think his early move actually paid off. He didn't get too much more experience compared to the usual off lane, and yeah, I'm not so sure though. I didn't feel like it actually helped him get more
Well, it's interesting
experience.
because he started boots first, but then he was hiding in the trees where you don't really need the boots if you're not running.
No, he wanted to get there in time.
Yeah. As it turned out, Alliance didn't really rush to the lane, but I guess he doesn't know that.
So the Brood Mother is gonna get released. Double Sage Mask plus Soaring, and Queen of Pain is level 6. He's gonna send himself a TP when the courier has time for him, and that's gonna put the Brood Mother in aggressive mode on.
Iceberg trying to claw together whatever CS he can, but knows now S4 is level 6. Closing on level 7.
Oh no, is the Brood gonna find the
stack?
bank account? The bank account.
Yeah. The stacks are available.
No.
Now, once the actual hero kills,
Man,
it
the
looks like
Brood-
always want to fly scouted out up on the high ground over near the Ancients. Can't even get a fissure off. There's a Quappled at the ready. Does he try to deny to the neutrals? He will. S4, no chance of that. He says, uses the scream to secure the kill.
Oh my god, his bank account is jeopardy. It's in jeopardy.
Bulldog just pilfering every last bar of gold and dollar bill that remains within. Working first on the one camp. While that's happening, they're even going to go more, doubling down on the economy as Loda grabs a Midas. All 3 cores farming on Alliance. The jungle completely infested now. This disgusting creature just taking everything over. May even find additional stacks here.
Oh my god, this is so big for Alliance right now. Totally shutting down this Shadow Friend. The Swagger Fin is gonna have a really tough time this game, even though it's a Radiant Swagger Fin.
Uh-oh, Bulldog. He's at level 6 here. Always want to fly. Has to be cautious. While that's happening, Gory's being zoned back on the top lane. Does finally have the Tranquil Boots, so a little bit more sturdy, but now the nukes are highly leveled, and while that was happening, the Iceberg gets picked off mid lane. Went to farm a stack. Always
Yeah.
want to fly. Unable to help him.
Sonic Wave plus Spawn Spiderling.
Easy pickoff. So all around the map, Alliance
my
just in
God.
full-on pressure, and now he finds the big stack. Juicy, delicious creeps. Everything for Bulldog. Well,
No leftovers for Iceberg.
I don't even want to look at the gold graph, but I'm going to do it, Winter.
Oh, no,
I kind of
Goretz.
have to. It's my job as a caster, and we even catch Goretz getting smacked down top lane while that's happening. This is like an 8,000 gold lead at 7 minutes. It might be one of the most one-sided starts I've ever seen.
They just got outmaneuvered, by the rotations and winning the lanes as well. Bench made sure that the Queen won his lane, and they were able to scout out. It's just really good movements from the whole team in general, understanding the situation that SF is in trouble. You need to shut down the SF by shutting down him in the lane and stealing his stack. Everything going on. as
Goretz, he
planned.
didn't dive in time. He may end up going down here. Can't even make it out. The burn damage from Wraithfire Blast. Enough to get the kill. The feed train is leaving the station. And
All
all
three-
aboard from CIS Rejects. 6 unanswered kills.
All 3 games, he's really not doing very well on the offlane. Every game, he's been giving up a lot of kills towards the Alliance side. And this game, Iceberg is not having the explosive start like the last game to enable the team to actually get carried.
8,000 gold and rising. The route is on for Alliance. Scarcely 8 minutes in. Orchid well underway for Bulldog with a lot of gold in the bank. S4 also doubling down on the Orchid. He's going to buy one too, it looks like. So we're going to see 2 ways to deal with this
He
Phoenix
might-
in the mid game.
He might not actually go for the second Orchid though. I'm
Well,
not
we'll,
sure.
we'll see. He gets the casual robe of the Magi for now, but I guess doesn't have to build it.
He can just go for maybe, the medallion build so they can Roche. I mean, there's a lot of possibilities here. Mid lane we see the bench going in on Iceberg once more.
Fire Spirits coming out. They're trying to turn this one around. Goretz, he jumps in. Has to be careful about the counterplay. And from the rear comes the Spider. Just classic Broodmother action.
Man,
For Alliance.
Is this even an offlane Broodmother?
It's a mid Broodmother. Jungle Brood. Bulldog's level 9. He is the highest level in the game. And they rotate 4 heroes mid. They get no kills. They still lose their Shadow Fiend. They're about to lose Goretz as Bulldog comes in, pokes him again. Further adding to the swarm.
And what are they gonna do right now?
I don't
The
know.
last game was 14 minutes. This game, 10.
I mean, they may fight longer, but it feels even more one-sided.
Okay, it's gonna be...
There's a medallion. This is Roche, basically, whenever Alliance wants it.
Yeah, it's gonna be a secondary orchid as well on the Broodmother since the bench chooses to go for... He's rich enough to afford a medallion this early.
Game was hard.
Game is hard. Mistakes were made. I immediately regretted my decision.
Boy, you're just a walking chat wheel. It really feels like Goritz is just not getting the job done in the offlane though. This is 3 games now where he's had a very poor start.
Goretz is chat wheel, my bad.
Yeah.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Oh my god, Orchid, 9 minutes. This is gonna be the
He's
fastest.
got Orchid before Phoenix has level 6.
Who's gonna die first? Okay,
You sounded so excited. Well, probably
Okay.
Artez, I was gonna say. Oh, nice duel, bro. Too bad you can't. Gonna tick down to the soul burn. Bulldog dominating in more ways than kills. Now pressuring the bottom lane. About to crack level 10. And just no counterplay. They're not pushing. They're not farming their woods.
they can just go for Roche right now after this.
They're getting spanked, man.
Tower is under attack.
They're just getting moved around. There's no answers though. They need their level 6 on Phoenix to be able to fight, but there's Orchids coming up on the Queen and the Broodmother, so it's really difficult though. They have really strong team fight with the ultimates coming online, but getting there is a huge problem for them.
Well, and the Orchid, the double Orchid is the counter to the ultimates, which isn't really all that far off.
Top lane in Goretz, is he gonna get a kill for his team?
Maybe, but he's also likely to pay. S4 finishes him off. My nut survives. Lives to tell the tale. They tried to burn him, but he hangs on.
Heat resistant nuts.
Oh, always a pleasure casting with a 12-year-old. I mean, what kind of a person would make a joke about my nuts? It's not very appropriate, Winter. I just see him trying so hard not to giggle. He's trying to control himself, guys. He really is. But, yeah, it's 10-0. It's a 12,000 gold lead, Winter. You're the captain right now of CIS Rejects. How do you come back? What's your brilliant gambit?
You have to try and get kills. There's a dagger on Artes soon. That's the only play. If they can actually get kills, they're gonna be able to start to get levels. You get a kill, you get ultimates on Phoenix and Wyvern, and then you start. Okay, Wyvern actually has his ultimate. Wow, the Phoenix is lower level than the support. Oh my god. They need to get their ultimates online, get a pick off, and take a team fight, and hopefully they win the team fight with their combos.
Blink
That's their
Dagger
best bet.
purchased, but before he even picks it up and arrives mid, they may lose this tower. Loda in full-on siege has his own Blink to match it. They continue pressing in. Fissure will be there. No deny attempted, but they do harass Loda a bit. Now Alliance, the way lies open if they want to go into Roche, but no, they swap Goritz from the high ground. And they'll finish him off easily. The Phoenix dead again. Blinking in his Loda. Smacks down another. The Earthshaker next on the list, and now Alliance in headlong pursuit. They're pitching a shutout here. And it doesn't seem like the Rejects will be able to respond anytime soon. My nuts in position. He gets cursed, but there's nobody to attack him. It's a blown ultimate, and now it's probably the death of Vangscore as well. Nuked up. Laguna just to secure it. My nuts has no mercy. If they want, they can rotate into the rush pit now, but they could also just run down mid. Control yourself.
Can't help it, dude. Sorry.
Alright, free rush.
Smoke.
Free Aegis.
I think they need to just try and smoke and just go find a pick off with the blink on the Legion Commander. They have to use this one time and then get the Phoenix ultimate on. That's their best bet. I don't think they have any other play left. If they continue farming, there's no way they can win.
Is under attack.
They're going to make their move now. The smoke not scouted, so this could be a slight opportunity, but they're going to need their Shadow Fiend there. As poor as he is a hefty part of their nuke damage. Rotating into position, a network of spiderlings in their path, and Ake will be there to break the smoke. Artez, Blink Dagger gets canceled by the Wave of Terror. He's going to engage, gets off a good overwhelming odds. The Quap Bolt, though, zones the rest of the squad back. Artez sprints here, there, everywhere, but kept alive by a Cold Embrace. Still hasn't even bothered to duel. Maybe could get a kill off of this. Bulldog's ever so low, but he got the lifesteal going. A quick winner for him. Iceberg turned into another aspect of the Bulldog Swarm. Vangscore will be last. It's a triple. And we might see a 14-minute GG. I mean, this is just beyond brutal. But they did get my nuts at the very least.
Yeah, they didn't have the curse though. If they had the curse, I think they might been able to maybe kill one more hero, maybe two. It was just he wasted the curse before, and it was such a long cooldown. They needed every single ability to be there. There was just no other way. You could see the potential though. They still was close to killing a couple of heroes with their combo. It's really strong.
It's just such a rough start in the laning stage, but you know, this is kind of what the Alliance draft was designed to do. You get Broodmother, Queen of Pain first too. You expect to have a good laning stage. Maybe not quite this good, but man. Well, Alliance is looking like they're on the upswing here. About to complete a mech on the Lina support of all things as Artez. A nice blink dagger, buddy. Bulldog in pursuit has the ultimate. Hasn't even bothered to use it. Gonna get the kill just with the spiderlings. And at the same moment, always want to fly. Just being picked off. This is feeling like a pub stomp. 5-0 and 10 on S4. CIS Rejects, they came out hot out of the gates a couple of weeks ago, or maybe more like a month ago, right after the reshuffle, but they are looking very outgunned against Alliance.
Yeah, it's just like the small little details that went wrong in the early stages. They got the stack stolen, they lost the courier, they didn't upgrade flying courier at 4 minutes, and Gorex on the off lane didn't really play safe enough. And it was just all these small little things that add up together. And Iceberg, another death.
Trapped out, and Loda hacking away here. Didn't even have the armlet, now being delivered. And while that's going on in the mid lane, my nuts going for the solo kill on Gory too. A little egg. Gets out, but well, there's your first supernova of the game.
Second, Roshan Pit.
Oh, yeah. I mean, for what it was worth. This one actually goes off. Jump in. They dust Bulldog. He's got the Orchid, though. Oh, doesn't cast it in time. Fisher coming through. Didn't get off the ultimate either. And Artez may actually be able to get a dual win.
Wow, 1,000 gold swing.
Oh, my goodness. No dual win, though. Doesn't get the bonus damage, but he'll definitely take the gold. 2-21 your score.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
2 kills away from the dream.
It's gonna be a long way though for them to crawl back into this game. That's a start. Getting a big kill and getting the experience for that, but they still need maybe 10 of those in a row somehow. And they don't really have that.
10 of those in a row.
They don't really have that many smokes to work with as well. You usually get the pickoffs with using smoke since it's daytime now. It's very difficult to just run up and get a blink duel off without a smoke. And the vision from Alliance right now is really good. Top side of the map, they have like 2 wards up there. They have 1 ward scouting the tier 2 and the bottom lane as well. So they have really good vision to avoid all those ganks from happening.
Gonna make their move onto the top lane. 3 heroes rotating just to slow down Ake and Loda, but they calmly retreat out while S4 pushes in bottom. Alliance taking their time with this one. They got some good vision here. My nuts, he had a ward up on the high ground, but he's gonna get caught out anyway, but the duel will give away the first successful duel win of the game. They had 2 wards actually in position to scout that.
Huh, that was really unusual though. They had vision there, but they still got caught.
Yeah, and they had a lot of notification. S4 up against Iceberg here, has the ultimate. They go in with the Stun Winter's Curse right when he would like to finish the job. We'll get it done with 1 extra auto tech. Loda now on the chase, has a DD rune available. On the backside of the fight is the Phoenix of Gords. He gets silenced. He could have maybe supernovaed. Blinking forward. We'll follow up and at least pop the Aegis, but while that's happening, Loda's going hard in the paint. He'll find another kill. Gords pursued out, finished off by S4, and the rest of the gang in a headlong retreat. 3 dead in a 4v5. They only lose a support Lina, who got completely caught out at the beginning. Alliance in cruise control as they clip past the 24-3 lead en route to what seems like a very early GG.
Yeah, at this point right now, it's like they can't really even take any direct engagements because they're just so far behind. They need to just rely again, I think, just by pickoffs. They have to pick off because Broodmother is going to be alone, so there's a really good chance of you picking off the Broodmother if she's out of position, if Bulldog's out of position. You need to rely on all those small mistakes that Alliance is going to make though at this point. It's very hard for them to take a direct head-on fight anymore.
It took 3 heroes just to bring down my nuts. That's not a great sign, to be honest. Alliance now may look to push in mid. All 3 lanes are pushing. Aegis now expended. So if they really want to slow roll it, they could wait 3 to 6 minutes before that next go.
There's no rush though. I don't think they are on any sort of timer. They can take it slow, get the next Aegis, put it on Quap once more, and just with the reincarnation from Wraith King from Loda. So it's as little risk as possible, because at this point of time, every single kill they give up is a lot of gold. It's a massive gold swing.
You can see that gigantic jump upwards. I mean, it looks small because of how far ahead they are, but that was like 10% of the advantage of Alliance gone to 1 kill. Was ending a pretty big streak for the dog.
He has the BKB right now though, so he's much more survivable if he gets caught. And even now, with the if he gets his BKB off, I don't think they have enough damage to kill him if he's with his team. It might even take like at least 3 heroes to actually gank him though. Game is really tough for them.
They're just buying whatever they can. Iceberg now grabbing up the Sanj, just the cheapest items possible. One item that they're about... Oh, no, I was going to say, always want to fly. He's about to pick up his Blink Dagger, and he will barely survive, but not so lucky as Gory. It's pursued to the ends of the earth by S4. Soulburn will finish the kill. Another death for the ill-fated Phoenix. Now 1-9. But he's not alone. Every single hero on the Radiant with a extremely negative kill-to-death ratio. Just nobody having a good time. But give them credit. They're hanging in there.
Oh my god, this sentry is not helping their cause as well. Unable to deward the vision that Alliance have. Oh dear.
It's so close that the green line intersects the ward, but doesn't actually cross through the hitbox where they need it to be.
And here comes
They will try to keep Iceberg alive for now, but they zone back the Wyvern, and now they start to go to work on the Shadow Fiend. He'll attempt to TP out Loda, just hunting for additional kills on the backside of the fight, finishes off Vangscore, and unable to escape was the Shadow Fiend, because Ake rotated in, I believe.
Okay.
S4 wasn't even there.
Good luck trying to duel the Queen of Pain now. Gem plus Lincoln's. This is the nail in the coffin, removing all the vision, get the second Roshan, and end the game.
I don't really know what else to say at this point, man. This game has been very one-sided, Winter.
Even if they land... Okay, hypothetically they land...
Fissure on 5, into a Winter's Curse on 5, into a Requiem, with the egg going off over the top. Let's just pretend magically all of that happens. You've still got a second life on the Wraith King. You've got a BKB on the Broodmother, so probably neither of those heroes are dying. Or if they die once on the Wraith King, he's coming right back. I don't even think then they can win. Maybe they can kill a support or two and win a duel, but...
I guess if they figure 5, it's possible. Echo on 5 on top of the egg.
He does have the blink now, always want to fly.
Radiant's courier.
Man, they're just making every single small step.
And now killing off the Radiant Courier, trying to retreat back from the side shop. Didn't have anything important
And now
on it.
this is the second last observer ward they have on the field.
As the light goes out and is extinguished here for the CIS Rejects Alliance. They burn brighter, looking for a Game 3 win. And their first series win in some time. Alliance has been kind of hit or miss as of late. They will have to go through the regional qualifiers to get to the Fall Major. Missed out on pretty much every big land before the Fall Major. Definitely an important step for them here, getting some momentum, some confidence. They will try to close out the victory now. Loda up through the front, tanks a raise, a lot of nuke damage. Too much for his taste. By the way, already level 17 at 23 minutes. And oh, Artez on the run, slowed down. Blade Mail was popped. That will deter any additional aggression. And always want to fly. He blew the Blink Echo. And now, they have nothing to defend the high ground, but they may get the kill on S4, though Winter's Curse is on him. Duel's on my nuts. Can they finish the job? Trying to! No! S4, too much damage! He may finish off Vangscore as well. Bulldog going to work. Solo killing the Phoenix Sun and will successfully explode it. The Supernova, not to the liking of CIS Rejects, frantically buying back on the Wyvern, but he's got no Winter's Curse. And at long last, the nightmare will end. The CIS Rejects giving up 4 more kills with a buyback. A dieback also on the Winter Wyvern, so make it 5. Make it 6 now with the Legion going down again. They threw whatever lives they had left at Alliance, but, I mean, this game, honest, let's be real, Winter, this was over at 10 minutes, if not sooner.
Yeah, I'm actually quite surprised they didn't tap out though. There's really no chance they can win the game anymore now at this point.
Radiant's middle barracks are under attack.
When you
Where do you see the biggest issues for CIS rejects?
They just didn't play the lanes good enough. They made too much errors, I think. Offlane didn't go too well. SF got shut down way too hard. Probably the Wyvern would have just been better helping the SF as well. Like, the Legion was fine at bottom lane 1v1. I'm not sure though. I think the two biggest thing is the offlane gave up too many kills, the Phoenix died too many times. And SF lost his bottle, didn't get the career upgrade at 4 minutes. They are stacked. His bank account got emptied by Brumada.
Just a terrible laning stage,
That,
basically.
it's like, that is the worst possible case scenario that could have happened in the game, and it happened.
Unfortunate in the deciding game number 3 as well. Alliance, they were quick to throw in the Talon game 2, but they clearly were poised and prepared for this one. You know, and it's interesting to see the Brood just kind of ignored, and then Alliance like, oh hey, that's a hero. We could run the Brood. Definitely caught CIS rejects off guard, I think.
I still felt that they could have adjusted so many things, even if you talk about them executing with the exact same draft right now with what they have. They just had so many small things that could have done better, which could have avoided a lot of the scenarios that happen in the game. They just didn't execute very well. Can't really blame everything on the draft at the end of the day.
No, definitely can't. There was a lot of great individual plays by Alliance. Ake sniping a courier and getting a first blood. The courier died 3 times this game
Man,
as well.
the courier is like
The courier was Alliance's real bank account. That was their trust fund.
ground courier at 4 minutes.
Yeah, Goreet's having a
What was
terrible
going
showing
on?
in the
Earthshaker
offlane.
had 450 gold when the courier died.
Hey, he won in boots. And the worst part was the bottle was on the courier,
Yeah.
just to like even further put the nails in the coffin for the laning stage.
Tough game, tough game.
Game
Laning
was
phase.
hard for the CIS rejects, but they'll have a chance to bounce back, guys.
There's also one more thing that
Yes.
they
Go ahead.
didn't do. They didn't fissure the offlane. They could have just fissured the offlane for the Phoenix instead of doing his shenanigans, and that would have at least given him what, level 3.
So basically, what you're saying is, if they do everything different, they can possibly win in the future.
With the same lineup, yes.
Okay. So you heard it here first, guys.
What? You're putting...
you said they did nothing right.
Alright, good.
Winter's such a flamer. Guys, thank you for joining us here for the Summit for
I am a
Europe.
flamer.
We'll take a look at our bracket now before we wrap up the day, if it's ready. It is ready, so we can see how things are progressing now. We're getting towards the end of the round of 12. Just have Power Rangers versus New Team 1, 2, 3, 1... Or, no, sorry, Monkey Business. That was actually a forfeit. So Monkey Business is going to advance, and New Team 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 will drop down, I believe. Admin was maybe talking about replacing them, but I think it may be too difficult scheduling-wise. So either way, Na'Vi waiting for their opponents. So the round of 8 looking quite jam-packed here down the stretch. But with that said, guys, thank you for joining us for the European qualifier. We do have some American Dota coming up for you next here at the Summit 4. But for now, it's going to be Winter and LD signing off. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
He's the flamer.
Hello and welcome to the Summit for American Qualifiers. My name is Lyrical Gangster, and I'll be joining you on a wonderful journey today as we take a look at a wonderful matchup. It's going to be Team Leviathan versus Not Today here, and as we just get everything all set up and ready and wonderful, the game is about to begin. So let's start off right away at the very beginning. Team Leviathan here are going to opt to ban on out the Shadow Fiend as well as the Templar Assassin. Dark Seer and Tusk are going to be other bans, and we're just waiting now for the last pick here as well. Team Leviathan opting to go for an Ember Spirit pickup.
Radiant team pick.
Kind of an interesting one there to go for at such an early point in time in this game. Is a really strong laning hero and has the potential to go either in that mid lane or in the safe lane, but I'm really excited to see how this ends up turning out for them. Sometimes a hero that can be occasionally shut down pretty significantly by silences. Worth noting, Night Stalker is still in the pool here as well, which I feel like is a pretty great answer for that Ember Spirit if you do want to run him in that offlane position. Can rotate around the map, make a whole bunch of stuff happen. They actually go for a Shadow Shaman pickup here. Very, very interesting. Into a Winter Wyvern as well. So this is somewhat interesting here. You've got a heck of a lot of lockdown now. Hex there going to be able to have a pretty decent, obviously the instantaneous cast point is really great. You've also got the ability to toss on out the Shackles, which did recently get a buff in terms of the amount of damage that they do. And then we're going to see Leviathan go for the Pudge right off the bat. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to do it right up here now. Starting off the Summit 4 American Qualifiers. Absolutely lovely. Leviathan is a team that really is fairly well known for being able to sort of toss out that Pudge play, oftentimes on the offlaner for Jenkins, and just really go to town with it. So I'm curious how Not Today is going to end up going for it. And Pudge is just one of those picks that you end up picking this hero up. There's no there's no middle ground for Pudge. You're either just going to completely and totally devastate the enemy team with your hooks, or it's just going to look really, really rough and rugged in terms of the actual follow-through there in terms of landing those hooks. But it's certainly going to create a lot of drama and interesting components to this game. So Queen of Pain going to be the next one banned on out as well, not wanting to have to face up against it. The other thing about this as well is that it's a heck of a lot of investment early in those cores, and it lets you sort of be in a little bit of again, a precarious situation in terms of how well are they actually going to be able to sort of deal with potentially being countered later on down the line. Of course, Pudge not necessarily somebody that's going to be a huge impact in the later game unless he really starts snowballing hard. But still, you know, you end up picking up your Ember Spirit first, you end up picking up your Pudge first. You've got a lot of your cards out there, and being potentially in a position where you can get countered here. So we do see them banning out the Queen of Pain, as I mentioned, as well as the Lina now for Not Today. So in terms of the sort of dynamic of this draft, obviously Shadow Shaman, another hero that can pretty effectively split push. You know, he's got those snakes out there. He's going to be able to toss those out, have a big impact in the fight, but can also be a little bit vulnerable. And I think that's part of the reason why you ended up picking the Pudge here. You've got a hero that has a channeled ability, and that's kind of the easiest hook in the world. So certainly a possibility to get taken out with a quickness there, and we'll see if basically this Shadow Shaman is going to, I think, need to definitely pick up a Blink Dagger. And for as far as his targets go, I mean, if you're going for a Shadow Shaman, you're going to be going for probably either a very much group up and push and take stuff down quickly, or doing a major split pushy build. And if you're going for a major split pushy build, then instead of going for team fights, you're going to be more likely looking for pickoffs. And because of that, he doesn't need to be super careful about his shackles. But picking up the Invoker here, and then Leviathan going for the Wind Ranger as well, this could still either go either way, really. I feel like Not Today have really left themselves quite open in terms of what their draft wants to be. As of Leviathan, they're not really wanting to take... not revealing a ton necessarily now, but still very, very interesting start to this draft. Invoker, also not a hero that we've seen a ton, but with the buffs that he's received in 6.85, has been seeing more and more play, so there's something to be said there. He can be played, you can sort of go the Necro book route with him and, you know, being able to run down heroes a lot, or you can go the sort of Quas Wex, much more built around trying to have a big team fight presence, get, you know, pickoffs there as well, and then Night Stalker picked up next. You know, it's really interesting. I feel like probably the Radiant could have gotten away fairly easily with picking up the Night Stalker first and Shadow Shaman at the later stages of the game, but instead opting to sort of flip those picks around. And I think this is going to be a really interesting one. I'm really very curious to see how this draft ends up turning out and what the game is going to end up looking like, because I think it's pretty clear Night Stalker here is going to be going in that off lane. You got Invoker mid, Winter Wyvern and Shadow Shaman are going to be playing that
10
support role.
seconds remaining.
I'm believing that this is now going to be a safe lane Ember with a
5
Pudge
seconds
in the
remaining.
off lane, Wind Ranger mid. Although all three of these heroes really can kind of go in
Reserve
any of
time.
those lanes, except for Ember Spirit on the off lane, I would say. And they go for the Rubik next. Pretty great. There's a
Radiant
ton of
team
really great
ban.
spells to steal in this game. Actually, I think that probably Invoker and Shadow Shaman are going to be his two main targets, unless he's capable of picking up that Winter Wyvern ulti. But either way, still feeling pretty good about this so far. We see the Omni Knight banned out now as well
Dire
for the
team
Radiant team,
ban.
not today. And last ban coming out here. I think that probably they are going to need to pick up that safe lane carry. PL still in the pool wouldn't be a terrible option, although Ember Spirit does, at the later stages of the
10
game,
seconds remaining.
definitely shut down that hero. If you're able to get the
5
correct amount of
seconds
farm up on him.
remaining.
And Juggernaut's going to be the one that's opted to ban out this time.
Radiant team
Interesting.
pick.
Very, very interesting. So we'll see how this goes. I think the Omni Knight as well, with no natural diffusal carriers so far on Not Today, a pretty decent ban out there as well. Certainly don't want to have to go up against, be a Night Stalker, and running into a Guardian Angel can cause a lot of problems. And they're going for Lone Druid. Man, this is just the game of interesting picks so far. So the thing and the versatility that this gives you is it allows you to have a Shadow Shaman Winter Wyvern roaming mid at a relatively early stage. And I think that's pretty good, because Wind Ranger versus Invoker matchup can, I feel like, be a little bit more Wind Ranger favored depending upon the build that Invoker goes, and now you're giving your Invoker a good amount of opportunity to roam around, or to have people roam around and help out in his lane if they want to do that. And I think that versus the
10
Pudge here, Lone
seconds
Druid's a
remaining.
great pickup. You're going to be able, it's going to require a lot of really great
5
micro
seconds remaining.
on Not Today's side. Like, you're going to need to be able to put the bear in the path of those hooks and
Reserve
make sure
time.
your own Lone Druid himself does not end up getting taken out here. And I'm really curious to see how this game goes. I mean, a lot of off-meta picks, a decent amount of on-meta picks as well, but certainly is a very interesting situation. And I'm curious to see what this last one is here out of Team Leviathan in just a second. Should be another support, I'm imagining. Although if they wanted to, they still could do sort of a dual off-lane situation as well, which wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, certainly. But now with 25 seconds left, waiting to see what it is. And I think probably, what else is left in the pool now? Lion wouldn't be terrible. Being able to have another one of those sort of instant initiation heroes.
10
Honestly,
seconds
CM could be
remaining.
kind of interesting also. Although, yeah, I think that
5
would be
seconds
okay. CM could
remaining.
be pretty decent here. Another team fight oriented thing. And they go for Ancient Apparition. Very, very cool. So, very cool start to this game. Excited to see how it is all going to look. And let's take a second to see here. Absolutely wonderful. Good start to this game indeed. I think that this should be a really interesting matchup here. I think the AA pick definitely creates a lot of versatility in terms of how they want to run this. If they wanted to do this in somewhat of an aggressive tri-lane, you could have that option now, because you can try and shut down the Lone Druid. You got Chilling Touch in there as well. I'm imagining we're still going to see fairly normal pickups here at the very beginning, but really great start so far, and I'm very, very
10
excited to see how this
seconds
match
remaining.
turns out. Really, really cool. All right. Just waiting for the last couple of people to get on into this one. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And here we go. Sum of 4. Qualifiers,
for
Americas, getting into position here, ready for this game to begin. Should be a really, really great matchup. And already seeing Leviathan move on down and try and create a little bit of a potential for a gank coming on through. I do believe that Not Today here has a little bit of a better situation in terms of being able to deal with this. just by virtue of the fact that you've got, you know, a good amount of stunts here in the form of the Shadow Shaman. You're going to be able to lock people down with shackles. It does become a little bit problematic if all 5 heroes are here, though. And actually now, considering the Night Stalker's off to the side, they're going to be able to catch on to Schofield here, immediately getting caught out. Nice shackle, and there is first blood. Shadow Shaman goes down with a quickness, and Jenkins trying to catch on out the bear here isn't going to be able to get it. That slow is so devastating at the early stages of the game for that Pudge, and
30 seconds.
really great start so far. Excited to see how this game goes indeed. So, getting everything all ready here. They're actually going to be able to catch the bear again! A second time through here. Oh man, IWO just barely getting caught out there. Unfortunately, not able to make it happen. So, a little bit of a rough start already for Not Today. Leviathan able to pick off 2 early, really unfortunate kills there. And it's looking like already a very unfortunate start. I mean, the cooldown on the bear did get reduced, so it's not as big of a deal as it was, you know, previously. You ended up getting a very long time duration before the bear was going to be able to come back on in. But especially against this Pudge now, who has a very real possibility to be able to, you know, run down this lone druid. I think, considering that we do have the Shadow Shaman as well as the Winter Wyvern over on this side of the map, it shouldn't be as big of a deal, but still really unfortunate start. And let's do a quick little introduction to the players here. We're going to have Jenkins here for Leviathan playing the Pudge. Meanwhile, Shibby on that Wind Ranger. Up in the top lane, we got Nusham going to be playing the Rubik. This Flying Zebra is going to be your Ancient Apparitia. And Calling Jaw is going to be the Ember Spirit. Meanwhile, For Not Today getting lifted up. Oh my god, going to be catching immediately the Night Stalker. Chains go down one time as well, and one more right click is going to be enough. That's another 2-0 start for Team Leviathan. Goodness gracious. Action fast and furious here. But meanwhile, for Not Today, we've got Goody who's going to be playing the Winter Wyvern. Schofield, I did mention on that Shadow Shaman. We have IWO who's going to be playing the Lone Druid in the mid lane. DDX is going to be playing that Invoker. And last but not least, plotting his way on back towards the top lane is going to be Angel for Not Today on the Night Stalker. So taking a look at the matchup and the lanes here, I think this lane becomes really tough for this Night Stalker here. While he does have fairly decent armor at the start of the game, you know, 5 there obviously being really great. You've got a good nuke coming on out from the Rubik. You also have the fact that Chilling Touch is going to completely and totally devastate you in terms of that extra magical damage. So he needs to be really careful in this lane, and having already died once, it creates sort of a naturally difficult lane for him. And now Pudge here in the off lane, you know, getting the sort of upgraded rot there, it's still not going to really be able to effectively take down that Shadow Shaman in lane, unfortunately, just based upon the fact that you've got a heck of a lot of you take a good amount of damage with level 1 rot still, and it's really only best, gonna be able to deny the rune. Nicely done there by Goody. You're going to take a natural large amount of damage at the early levels, and if you've got 2 or 3 heroes hitting you at the same time, you're not really going to be able to make an effective use of that spell. And while the slow is great, basically if you turn around and fight the Pudge at that point in time, there's not a whole heck of a lot that he can do. But likewise, still do need to be careful. Once he gets that level 2, it's going to become a lot easier for him in lane. But so far, playing it very safe, not wanting to get caught out and feed away that early advantage he's been able to make for his team. Schofield does get a level in Shackles as well as that Ether Shock. While Angel as well, having a pretty decent time in lane so far. Not really a whole heck of a lot to write home about. I think that at this point, like, he's probably going to be able to rotate on over, get a little bit of EXP off to the side from this jungle camp here as well, if he wants to. But he needs to still be careful, because Rubik can lift him up to the high ground. While it's a little bit tough, it still can happen, and you need to be really careful about that sort of initiation that comes out. Haven't had a heck of a lot of time to talk about this Invoker yet. Did end up going for the Quas Exort build. He's going for the early Alacrity, getting him a good amount of bonus damage here based on his levels of Wex that he has. Does also have Sunstrike available. Getting a little bit close here. Shibby can potentially get a kill if he's not careful. The Shackle was possibly there, but playing it a little bit safe now. Schofield off to the side as well. We do have Pudge up. Still no level 2. He will get it right here. It looks like Schofield was trying to deny him out as much EXP as possible, but should have that hook. And as soon as he gets that, it becomes a very dangerous lane here for pretty much everybody else. It does look like they're going to be able to continue to last hit away like a champ. Need to be careful. Bear diving a little bit close to try and put a little bit of extra damage on the tower. Meanwhile, mid lane yet again. Windrun coming on up. Alacrity is there as well. It's going to be able to get a little bit more harassment off there on Shibby. Meanwhile, top lane yet again. Fortification coming on down. Not wanting to die too early here. The bear is going to be cutting creep waves though. With Lone Druid here as well, while it's fallen low, he does have a resummon up. So not really a huge problem at this point in time, despite the fact that the bear ended up dying early. There's the resummon. Not going to be able to get that one off. Meanwhile, top lane, Ancient Apparition able to take on down the Night Stalker. Really nicely done there with the dive. This is so dangerous in both of these off lanes. Like the cutting the creep wave down here, and the tower falls at 4 minutes in. Are you freaking kidding me? So scary. Not today, already getting off to a pretty decent start, despite the fact that they ended up losing their Night Stalker in the offlane. He's still all the way up to level 3 at this point, so he's doing pretty good. And I'm really concerned about the fact that this Lone Druid is already getting a good amount. And honestly, what's to stop him from keeping on going here? Jenkins is going to end up getting dove here in a second. The Shackles are down as well. Sunstrike coming in as well. TP's abound. They are going to try and make some type of rotation. Going to be able to make it from here. Shibby chasing IWO. We also have Nusham in the area as well, but they're not going to be able to find any kills here unless they focus back on Winter Wyvern. One-time power shot. Is it going to be enough? One more right click should do it. That's going to be a kill. Shackles now onto Shibby as well. The rotations are still coming in off to the side. Pudge trying to make his presence felt as well. That is going to be the Night Stalker taking out the A up in the top lane. Ember's still chasing. Oh, Schofield diving deep. Power shot not going to connect. He is just wasting time at this point in time. I don't think he finds a way out, but as much time as he's able to waste, it's just a benefit. And Jenkins here going to try and get the cleanup. Are they going to let him go? Did he honestly just make his way out? Meanwhile, up top, Night Stalker chasing as well onto the Ember Spirit. That's going to be another kill. Oh, goodness gracious. Not today. They are not going to have any of it. Cold Feet is down. That's going to be another jump forward. Arctic Burn. Zebra's fallen really low as well. Yet again, the Cold Embrace is going to keep the Night Stalker alive for the reinitiation. Does he have a Void? Not quite yet. It looks like they might opt to chase. A little bit too dangerous. With Chilling Touch still up on the Ancient Apparition, they're going to let this one go, but man, oh man, early aggression abound. Let's take a look at the team net worth so far. Not today have been able to build a fairly sizable lead, just about 500 gold. In terms of EXP, it's looking to be a little bit into their favor as well, so not really anything super much to write home about, but after those 2 early kills there, being able to get both the Shadow Shaman and the Bear early from the Lone Druid, the fact that they've been able to turn this lane back around has been really impressive. IWO on this Lone Druid looking very strong. So the longer that this game goes on, I feel like it's probably more and more into the favor of Leviathan. Just based upon, like, obviously Lone Druid's carry potential isn't to be underestimated, and the fact that, you know, with the Aghanim Scepter upgrade now, you can essentially have a 6th hero on the map. But I don't know if that is a realistic goal. Like, I feel like the power curves there, while you can still continue to get more and more items up on the LD, I think that Ember Spirit hits this power point where he is just like super strong and almost untouchable at around that 50-minute mark. And I think that probably if he's able to get relatively decent farm throughout the whole course of this game, he's going to be in a pretty good spot. So taking a look at that net worth, it is looking to be a little bit into the favor of Lone Druid at this point in time. We're going to see a smoke on up here. Might be able to find somebody off to the side. Leviathan, Flying Zebra, Nusham, and Shibby all taken over. Meanwhile, top lane yet again. Night Stalker able to take out the Ember Spear. What a hook. Are you kidding me? Angel is going to end up getting taken down there in the end, and I don't know if they're actually going to be able to find a kill down here in the bot lane. They're actually wrapping around. Lone Druid does not have a TP. The Bear is in a little bit of trouble here. There are going to be 4 heroes rotating over to try and find this one, and I think this is going to be a kill. Jump forward is going to be a lift. Oh my god, he's falling fast. Shackle and everything else tossed out. The kitchen sink, everything that you could possibly want. This is going to create a little bit of space here to the side to be able to push on down the mid tower yet again. A nice little 600, 700 gold swing into their favor, and really effective rotations so far out of out of Leviathan, excuse me. They were able to get that kill there. Jump forward, catches the chains, does miss unfortunately there. We do also have the Shadow Shaman as well as the Winter Wyvern. They're actually going to be able to catch off to the side here. There is going to be the Arctic Burn, another Shackles landing. Silent, he's going to go down. Well done there. Doesn't even matter about that. You got the pure damage coming on out. You're ready to go. Super duper solid. Invoker ends up picking up that kill, and that's important to do, to be able to shut down that Ember Spirit. It does look like Invoker next is going to be picking on up his Hand of Midas in just a second here. After going 101, as well as getting a good amount of the last hits throughout the course of this game, certainly not at all unheard of to make that happen. It looks like Lone Druid here is going to opt to try and rotate on up to the top lane, make something happen. Mid lane should be trying to push this down. This is the key component of the Wind Ranger here, is that, you know, when your opposing offlaner ends up going and trying to push on down and you know, be able to farm on out the jungle, you can rotate on over and really effectively take down this mid tower. So unless Invoker ends up coming back really quickly here, I think that we're still going to be in a situation where you're going to be able to push down this mid tower. And you know, Invoker isn't the fastest jungling hero in the game either. He does get a good amount of right click coming out from his alacrity, and right now you see he's hitting for 130. Ain't nothing to mess with. But regardless, he doesn't flash farm as much and as quickly as a hero like, you know, an Ember Spirit or a Tiny or something like that, who can pop on up either, you know, the Avalanche toss combo or Shadow Fiend, another great example. So it's the one area of his kit that, while he did get buffed in 6.85, it creates a little bit of a predicament there. And because of that, Shibby might be able to take advantage of that, push down the tower, focus fire it out once he gets his next creep wave here, and really apply some pressure to the map control that you've got out of Not Today. And that's something that you're gonna, it can't be overstated how important that is. Like, oh, let's see, they're setting up for something here. Jenkins waiting for somebody to appear in lane, and this should be a focus fire immediately. They do not have a glyph backup for another couple of seconds, so this is falling quickly. It does look like they realize this is happening. Probably was spotted out by the ward right over here to the side, and they're just going to actually sack this tower. Really unfortunate there. Do get the glyph right back up now. They're not going to, they use the glyph. All right, so setting up for a team fight now. Chi Qua is getting ready as well. Yeah, they're going to be able to take it. So just a little bit of more, that was really smart there by Not Today. They knew they weren't going to be able to get it. Continue to get farm up on your heroes, prepared just in case there is going to be some type of retaliation. But with Pudge sitting up on the high ground, which they spotted out with the ward, I think that that's going to be the correct decision by them. And so far, once again, the vision is super important, because the longer you're able to survive without it, oh, Angel might be able to find somebody. The more pressure you're able to apply to a Night Stalker early in terms of the vision he's allowed to have, the better it becomes later in the game. Oh my god, Schofield is just going to get ran down here. No questions asked. That's just going to be a straight up kill. Oh, wards do get caught. This might actually be a kill here for Jenkins if he's not careful. Oh god, the Sunstrike not quite going to be there in time. Wand charges abound. The bear is chasing, trying to create a little bit of a situation here where he catches him out. Night Stalker pops the darkness as well, and it looks like they're going to be fine. Maybe Wind Ranger getting the DD might be able to come on in here and make something happen, but they're going to have to back on out. So just get a free kill there. That was really freaking close, but meanwhile, mid lane, we do have Shibby off to the side here with the DD rune up, ready to contest this if they want to. Not quite able to get the deny, unfortunately. Void down on Shibby, and that is going to end any thoughts of pushing any further in this team fight. What the heck has been going on in this game? We're at 12 kills, 2 to 3 towers down at just about the 10-minute mark, and no real hold bar here at all. Schofield did end up dropping the snakes there, unfortunately, so that's going to somewhat limit his ability to push down this tower. That being said, Leviathan aren't in a great position to be able to defend this. It would require a whole heck of a lot of TPs. Pudge does have 3 of them, and it looks like they do want to do just that. They're going to come and contest this. Meanwhile, down in the bot lane, Lone Druid has a TP, but it's not going to be as close as an initiation point in terms of his ability to come and help out the team fight as this Ember Spirit's going to be. So this could be a little bit rough now. Invoker is out in front as well. It does look like they're going to try to come around from the other side. Jenkins does spot them on out over to the side here. This is going to be an initiation. Shackles onto 2 as well. AA Blast coming in. That's going to be able to take down all 3 of these heroes in just a second. Sunstrike, we don't care about that, is going to be able to hit the meatball on top of Chibi, but he's going to be able to get away as well. That's the bite down as well. 4 heroes dead for 1. Lone Druid might be next as well. They're going to try and chase as quickly as they can, but I think that the Lone Druid should be able to get out. No? Chains connects. A little bit scary. Oh, there's the hook! Able to catch IWO. The Bearman goes down. Oh, it's beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. You know, that's what I'm talking about. You take a look at Pudge and what this hero is capable of doing. You know, it's all or nothing. It either looks amazing or it looks like trash. And Jenkins making it happen. Very, very nicely done there. Exceptional play here out of Leviathan so far, and it's just that one big team fight. They ended up knowing that they were going to be able to contest. They come on in, make their presence felt, and then back on out. So exceptionally well played. It also was worth noting that Shadow Shaman didn't have wards for that fight. I think the biggest thing was just being able to initiate immediately and have that AA blast land onto 3. It's so difficult to fight into that. And after this, we do see Not Today come and try and contest a little bit more. They want to shut down whatever vision they can and whatever map control they possibly can. We do have a ward here by the Radiant, which is going to spot out Flying Zebra, so it's a little bit unfortunate. It looks like they're just going to leave this tower alone, though. And Angel going to back on out. They were looking for Pudge, weren't quite able to find him. And they're going to trade towers instead. So Nushin pushing on down here. I don't think he's actually going to be able to get it, honestly, but not the biggest deal in the world. So Invoker gets the tower. I mean, they ended up winning the team fight, and that's the key thing here. I mean, you take a look at the team net worth. Leviathan, despite losing that tower, is still pretty far ahead. It's a really even game considering. I mean, if you take a look, the EXP lead very, very much in the favor of Leviathan, but it's just the tower push that we've been seeing. Consistently being able to make that happen. And, you know, when you've got this lineup here with, you know, Invoker right-clicking like a champ, he's got the Lone Druid Bear there beside him as well. So much damage coming out, and they're just going to be ready to take these towers consistently. Mid lane yet again, we do have a little bit of initiation off to the side here. Wind Ranger's going to be able to keep them off the towers fairly well. Okay. Don't worry, guys. We're going back in. Occasionally, Reborn does have some problems. We make sure that everything is still hunky-dory here. It does look pretty solid. Yep. All right, wonderful. Going back in. Just Reborn things, ladies and gentlemen. All right, we didn't miss a whole heck of a lot. It does look like they're setting up for a potential snipe over here to the side. Flying Zebra, Jenkins, and Chalikwa are in the area. Does look like the Dire, or the Radiant rather, have some notion that this is going on, though. And we're just going to back on out. The nice ward is going to keep everything all hunky-dory. The Invoker off to the side here as well. Should be able to queue on up Ghostwalk if anything does get a little bit too fresh and dangerous. But again, you're just seeing this 5-man push here, and the AA, such a great hero. Oh, Invoker, Shackle, gonna be able to hit there. DDX is gonna go down. Nicely, nicely done. Maybe gonna be able to make his way out of here. Are you freaking kidding me? No! Oh, Sentry Ward one time, thank goodness. That would have been terrible. Really, really well played there by Nushim to make sure he was carrying that necessary detection to succeed in the gank. That's sort of one of those times in your pubs where you might end up getting taken out if, or being able to get away because, you know, no supports by detection or whatever. But very much above that, making sure Leviathan is on top of their game. So, Schofield gonna try and defend this a little bit. Does need to be ever so slightly afraid. Ember Spirit, well, he doesn't have a heck of a lot of farm. He does have travels now. Should be able, actually, he's going to be able to catch here. Schofield's in a lot of trouble. Oh, he needs to be careful, actually. It's a really good decision there to not go on him. Considering that he had wards up as well as Hex and channeled Shackles, he probably could have killed there because he doesn't need to necessarily burn through the shield. If he wanted to, he could burn through it with the Ether Shock, I believe, but would still be able to deal that physical damage through it with the wards anyways. So I think that would have been a situation where, despite the fact that you can clearly see that Not Today are trying to have this pushing draft where they're going to be able to sort of consistently make stuff happen and get kills and that type of stuff and push down these towers, build a net worth advantage, it's still a situation where if you can get a kill on sort of the safe lane hero there, the eventual carry, it's really completely and totally worth it. DDX playing things a little bit dangerous. Does look like Night Stalker is going to opt to pop his ulti as well. Thought about going on there onto the Ancient Apparition, but thinking the better of it now instead. Flying Zebra, moving on through. He has been able to pick on up and earn for himself other items across the board. Wind Ranger now working on the Aghanim Scepter. Down here to the side, Ember Spirit's going to be able to pick on up drums. Does also have those Boots of Travel. Always, always so key in terms of your ability to defend split pushes abound. So Pudge now as well, having a good amount. He hasn't actually been able to get that much, but it looks like he's saving up for his Blink Dagger. And considering he's only died once, not at all bad. But it's looking a little bit at this point in time. Oh, might be able to find something here. The Ember Spirit is off to the side. Does he have a Remnant behind him? He does have one way back there. There's the instant initiation, though. Could be in a little bit of trouble. Shackles comes down as long as this Sunstrike lands. Oh, Winter's Curse is going to secure it. Nicely, nicely done there. But it looks like we do have rotations off to the side. If they didn't Winter's Curse there, they don't get that kill. That's just straight up all that you have to say about it, because he was going to be able to Remnant away instantaneously. And so I think, again, that's one of those situations where you think about those big ultis, the ability to lock down the Ember Spirit, deny him his farm that he wants, slow down his progression to his next item. All of these things are really, really key in terms of making sure that your team is able to push that high ground down. So nicely, nicely done. Off to the side there. What else do we have over here? Jenkins now as well. Level 9, not bad at all. We have Shibby continuing to be able to push this on out. Only about 400 gold away from picking on up the Aghanim Scepter. Flying Zebra Dota doing his thing. Not Today, meanwhile, on the Night Stalker. He's been able to pick on up and earn as well. He's going to be going straight for that point booster, wanting to get that vision up for the Aghanim Scepter. DDX in the mid lane. He does have the Hand of Midas up as well as a Necro book, so pretty solid there. IWO not a whole heck of a lot to speak about so far. His bear is been able to pick on up a Orb of Venom that had that since the very start, as well as Maelstrom. Meanwhile, Schofield as well does have that nice little arcane boots, giving his team the extra little bit that he needs, and Winter Wyvern with the Soul Ring going to be perfectly fine as well. So kind of a little bit of a farming war type-esque thing, and I think that probably, you know, again, when you're sort of committing to a bit of this pushing draft and trying to close down the vision and with the Night Stalker Ags, it's sort of worth it at this point for Leviathan to not try and push their luck too much. Like, the potential of team fight that comes on out from the Invoker here is just really, really strong. And if they try and group up and take a team fight full on, then you're just going to get split pushed to death to a large extent. Ooh, not quite able to hit the hook there, unfortunately. Pudge still looking for that opportunity. Does have a Blink Dagger, so if he wants to, he can just jump it right in on somebody and just bite away, which would be pretty solid as well. Aghanim Scepter now picked up by the Wind Ranger. This might be their opportunity if they wanted to try and fight. But again, it's so hard with the split push that comes out from this side here. Oh, a little bit of something unfortunate going on. Goodness gracious, Reborn, why you do this to me? Holy Toledo. All right, we're good. Ladies and gentlemen, we're good. That's going to be a smoke coming on out now as well by Not Today. They might be able to find somebody here. I don't think... You know what? They might just be going straight for Roche at this point in time. If they sneak a Roche right here, this would be huge. They can definitely do it with the Snake Wards being dropped down as well. It does look like there's some inkling that they might have an idea this is going on over here. Ancient Apparition is going to be able to drop on in. He's waiting, might toss down. Oh, they are going to be able to know that this is going on, actually. A Blast coming in as well. The Snakes have already been dropped. That's going to be a hook on back. Did end up hitting onto one of the Forge Spirits, so nothing going to be happening quite yet. But this is going to be the new point right here. I don't think that Not Today want to stick around. It's too dangerous for them to be sitting in the low ground here with so much potential for counter initiation. That's going to be the jump forward. Roche does end up going down there. They're going to be able to catch Winter's Curse, immediately killing down the Pudge. He was able to take the Aegis. They also got the Roche kill as well, trying to jump away. Jenkins making his escape, able to take down DDX again. Lone Druid kills him in return though, so that's both burned. Now going to try and just get out of here if they possibly can. Leviathan do not want to fight any further, already using AA Blast. It looks like Flying Zebra's going to end up going down. Nushin making his escape. No, the Shackles end up connecting, so the Aegis steal, was it worth it? I don't... Let's take a look at the fight recap, see what they say. 41 gold was apparently spread across. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. There we go. That's the real one. So 500 gold swing. Considering that they were able to get the Aegis, considering that Invoker ended up going down as well, kind of a back and forth. I still think that that's much more worth it for Team Not Today. And you do see that they did end up losing a decent amount in that last fight, but honestly, it's just one of those things where you get the potential to push down now after this. And being able to take the tier 2 after that fight, despite the fact they ended up losing the Aegis, not being able to pick that one up, really, really solid there. Bottle ends up getting dropped and ever so kindly refilled. Yeah, nice, wonderful. Always good to see that happen. So, DDX up. He's ready to go. Has his Necro Book level 3 up in the top lane as well. We have Schofield off to the side. 2,000 gold sitting on this man. So should be picking up. Oh god, if Shibby is able to get a kill here, that would be so key. But no, wisely going to back on out. Now here comes the initiation. Jump forward bite on the DDX. AA Blast coming in as well. That is a super freaking dead Invoker. And they are also going to be able to get the kills here on the summons as well. Nicely done there to use the Sleight of Fist to dodge any potential damage. Coming back in on top of him. Meanwhile, IWO. Arcane, or excuse me, Tranquil Boots on him. That would be not the build. Meanwhile, Spirit Bear does have those Phase Boots up, as well as Hyperstone and Maelstrom. So really, really set up and ready to go there. Wind Ranger, meanwhile, just going to try and push out the top lane instead. Jenkins picking on up the Bounty Rune. Wanted to potentially deny that, but it looks like this is going to be the next point of contention. Worth noting, Leviathan haven't been able to take a tower yet, so a little bit of a precarious situation here. Are they going to be able to get the initiation that they want? We do have the Night Stalker in the area. He's been able to pick up 2 components. That's going to be a lift on top of the bear, just tossing it back, wanting to make sure that they get a clean retreat, and it looks like they're going to be able to. So a little bit scary, but no big problems yet. Leviathan still able to make their way away. Does look like Shibby is going to win run away from the Shadow Shaman. not having complete and total vision of where everybody is. Invoker was off the map at that point in time. It looks like, though, we're just going to continue to have Not Today just pushing down this top lane. All of the tier 1s are gone now at this point in time for Leviathan, and while they are still, I think, in a really reasonable spot, when you take a look at the net worth, it's a 2k gold lead, but not really super significant, I don't feel like. It could still go either way. Like, Leviathan need to be able to defend this. They can't really give up another tower for free, I feel like. So let's see, off to the side, Alacrity, that bear, terrifying. Now, this is going to be a hook on back. This is going to end up being a kill here in just a second, but immediately resummoning the bear, and that's going to end up being a kill. Invoker getting the kill. That's going to be a shackle onto the bear. Still perfectly fine, no big deal. With the Blink Dagger up on the Shadow Shaman, they can reinitiate at any given point in time. And what do you do against this lineup? You toss out the bear there. He's got Alacrity up, doing a hell of a lot of damage. The attack speed abound as well. This Invoker has opted to max out Exort, as well as getting 1 in Wex. So at this point in time, Alacrity deals up to an extra 90 damage and 30 attack speed. Really, really hard to compete against in terms of damage output from this bear. And you know, just in general, how do you deal with that? You want to be able to get the perfect type of initiation like Jenkins got. He landed the hook, able to follow up with the bite. The bear got destroyed, but just consistently able to resummon this bear. You know, you take a look at what that cooldown has been reduced to, 120 seconds. Every 2 minutes you have the potential to slow siege any lane that you want. You know, this is really impressive here, and I think that it's something not to be overstated. They do end up catching the bear, though. Oh, disaster strikes. That's going to be a little while before that ends up being able to respond. He just got that one, so another minute. I mean, it's not terrible, but not the best either. Here comes the initiation, potentially. Schofield does have that Invis rune up. Might be able to find his potential. That's a jump forward. Snakes down as well. There's the shackle. This could be a kill here with the Invoke coming in. Oh, God, just barely able to make his way out. Oh, A Blast coming in. Here comes Schofield. Not where he wants to be at all. He is going to have backup, though, thankfully. And that's actually Snakes dropped as well, so weren't able to get the kill. Oh, that's really frustrating. And now Night Stalker has his Aghanim Scepter as well, so maybe a little bit of recompense coming back into the way of Team Not Today. Goodness gracious. IWO picking up the plate mail. So this is going to be a smoke coming on in. Roshan obviously not back up again for 4 minutes. So they're going to be looking to try and find a pickoff at this point in time, hopefully thinking that somebody is off over there going to be farming the lane, or at least maybe taking Ancients. But it doesn't look like they're going to find... Oh, God, if they're able to find Zebra, that would be really unfortunate. Maybe they're just going to try and see if they can take a team fight up top here. All right. Observer Ward for the Dire does end up spotting this out. I think that they should know that something funky's going on. Darkness gets popped. They're split up a little bit, though. That's going to be a lift up on top of the Rubik. Meanwhile, Night Stalker trying to chase after the Pudge as well. Are they going to be able to find over here to the side? A Blast comes out. That's a dead Shadow Shaman. Maybe going to be able to turn this back around. Winter Wyvern up on the high ground. Do they have the potential to reinitiate? No, they're in trouble now. Winter Wyvern separated. Nice hook shot right there by the Pudge. Exceptionally well done. We do get the Shackle out as well. This is going to be a chase down on the bot lane. Lone Druid continue to get chased over here. Meanwhile, his bear is going to end up getting killed as well. That's a chains caught one time. Are they going to be able to make this happen? Wind Ranger is here as well. I think that this is going to be another kill here. One last Ether Strike, and the Wind Ranger gets the kill. All right, Leviathan turning it back around. That hook shot was so freaking key there. Exceptionally well played. All right, and now potentially going to be able to take on down this tier 1 here as well. The Glyph does come out, but it's just to be able to slow them down a little bit. Taking a look at the net worth now, Leviathan very, very much in the lead, and able to turn around that would-be gank. You saw it there. It was just a little bit of hesitation and separation. The Night Stalker wanted to jump off to the heroes on the left-hand side. The Winter Wyvern got stuck up on the cliff. Across the board, it was just a little bit unfortunate the way that it ended up working out. So Leviathan bringing it back, able to make it happen, jumping forward. Oh, where is the connect? He doesn't know where he is, but he knows he's around here somewhere. Nice silence onto the Pudge as well. Maybe they're going to be able to turn this one back around yet again. He does have a hook shot, misses the hook. Oh, all or nothing. That's going to be a freaking... Oh, God, it's all going down. Sunstrike comes out. They're going to be able to take out Nusham as well. I don't know if the Ember Spirit wants to engage onto this. Still able to get the kill, and now is going to be able to make his escape. Thankfully, at the end of the day, Shibby as well as the Ember Spirit are able to make their way out of there. Close, close, close indeed, though. Now taking a look at that fight recap. A little 1,200 gold swing in the favor of Team Not Today. Really, really solidly done. So the push strats continue, though. And at this point in time, it's really hard to imagine Not Today wanting to stop. The question is, Are they going to be able to take this next Roshan and make something of it? Because I think that if they're able to really effectively take on down Roche, you know, take down this last tier 2 beforehand, potentially force a good fight when 2 heroes are dead, they're not going to be able to do that. But they can probably at least take this next Roche. They're going to be able to take down the tier 2 tower, no question about it. A blast or nothing, they're still going to be able to take it. It does end up hitting onto several of them. Darkness ends up getting popped, though. They're going to make sure that they're not getting initiated on. Everything all hunky-dory. Meanwhile, as well, the Ember Spirit's going to be able to come on over here, farm on out the jungle, as well as push out the bottom lane. So all good, all wonderful. Schofield here is going to end up running into the Ember Spirit. Does Remnant away. Very nice decision there. Jenkins trying to jump yet again. Able to take on down that creep. Ooh, wanted the hook. Didn't get the hook. Don't worry, nobody saw. All right. So Roche back up again in just a second. A relatively short one. I think that at this point in time, if you're either side, you just got to consistently check to make sure that this Roche isn't back up. And if you do spot it early, then you go on in and try and take it on down. And I don't know, again, like that last team fight, I felt like, oh my god, Wind Ranger has a Daedalus as well. That last team fight, I felt like Leviathan had a relatively okay initiation. They were able to get the AA blast off on everybody inside the Roche pit. But it just wasn't quite good enough with the Winter's Curse coming out and being able to sort of disable all of that. It just didn't end up all working out for them. So I still think Leviathan has an okay chance to defend the Roche pit as long as they're still able to get that solid AA blast. But it becomes so much harder now that Night Stalker is his Aghanims. Invoker as well, looking to pick up his next item. Could be an Aghanim Scepter as well. Octarine has been known to be built on Invoker, but I feel like probably at this point Aghanims would make him a really, really potent team fighting hero. Could be Bloodstone as well, just to get that cooldown in terms of his respawn timer. Like, it's not, it shouldn't be underrated. Like, if this game is going to be sort of one of those pushing type of crazy games like that, where you're just sort of consistently wanting to make sure that you're able to have your respawn timer cooldown a little bit lower, then it really makes a big difference. But nonetheless, not going to be seeing any items anytime soon. They're going to kill this Roshan so freaking quickly. Necronomicon's abound. We got Forge Spirits here. We got Alacrity. Roche ends up falling. Leviathan not quite there in time to be able to contest it all. And Invoker is actually going to be the one that picks up the Aegis. So kind of an interesting choice there. He does have 2,800 gold in the bank. IWO. Sitting pretty with his nice little bear friend. Does have the AC on up as well as the Maelstrom. Jenkins looking for his initiation point. Does also have the Force Staff now, so if he wants to, always got the option there for Blink Force, but it looks like Slow Siege is going to start coming. There are the snakes coming on out immediately. Able to get the hook. Hits onto the Necronomicon, so nicely done there as well. It's going to be Alacrity, Cold Embrace up on the bear, keeping him alive a little bit longer. Shibby is just going to try and keep this pushed out as long as possible, but it looks like they're going to opt to not push on up here. And with the bear being a little bit lower, they don't want to waste the Aegis. Let's push out all the lanes, get a little bit of extra farm, call it good for today. Well, that being said, Jenkins with the mobility as well as the hook certainly has the potential to catch somebody out here. Does have another blink in just a second, waiting for his opportunity. Being said, if he hooks back at this point in time, might be a little bit scary because he'd be separated from the rest of his team because of said same mobility. Invoker does go for the Ags. I think that makes the most sense. Bloodstone, not doing that. That's dumb. Right, so let's see. Blind Zebra Dota now as well does have 2 components of his Aghanim Scepter. Still a decent amount away from that one. Rubik as well has been able to pick on up a Soul Ring as well as one of those nifty Ogre Clubs that everybody loves. Should be Daedalus. He's got damage galore. Love to see something like a Blade Mail come out from one of these heroes. Could potentially see it on the Lone Druid. Wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. There's the jump forward. Jenkins ends up getting caught. Oh, this is a little bit bad right here. The A Blast is going to come out, but to no avail. I don't think it's really going to be enough to do anything with no Aghanim Scepter, and this is going to be their opportunity to push high ground. This is actually disastrous for Leviathan. Any small opening like this, and they're going to be able to take this one on out. Do get another Cold Embrace up on Spirit Bear. That's going to bring him back on up to a really high HP point. He can push on in as much as he wants. Going to leave the creeps to tank the tower, if at all possible, and then this tier 3 is going to fall so quickly. There's the lift on up yet again. That's going to be a catch, though. Oh, cancels that Shackle onto 2 as well. Angel's going to be in a little bit of trouble here. Off to the side, Wind Ranger was able to take down that Shadow Demon and might be looking for more as well. Shadow Shaman, excuse me. The bear comfortable with taking on out the tower. And you know what? I think that they trade this, but I don't know if they're going to be able to get away. Goody taking a little bit of damage here as well. We do have another chains in just a second. Cold Embrace that one more time. Angel is going to be able to make his way away. Goody does fall in the end. Able to steal Cold Embrace on the Rubik as well. So nice pickup there. At the end of the day, taking a look at that fight recap, 1,500 gold swing into the favor of Leviathan. You take a look at net worth at this point in time. It does still look like Not Today up in the lead after being able to take out that tier 3 tower. So they've got exposed barracks now. Also took out the melee barracks. How the heck did that happen that quickly? Oh my god, Spirit Bear is a tank. He's not afraid of anything. Deals so much damage with Alacrity up. It's ridiculous. Okay. So Aegis Reclaim in another 2 minutes. They've got the potential to push on in again if they want to. They do still have all of the craziness coming out from Invoker. Hasn't opted to put a whole heck of a lot more points into that Wex yet. He's going to try and make some type of initiation here with the Shadow Shaman in the area as well. Meatball comes down. That's going to be a Shackles. One more right click. Invoker takes out the Ember Spirit. Meanwhile, off to the side, Lone Druid able to make short work of the Pudge as well. Ooh, Leviathan. Oh no, Invoker's going to pick up a Blink Dagger as well. This initiation is just too strong, as well as the combination of the Spirit Bear Invoker. So freaking tanky. The slow siege is real. Oh god, and it's just, it's one of those things where they don't have enough push right now on Leviathan, I feel like, or at least the team fights haven't quite been there for them. Like, you take a look in terms of the ability, just one small little pick off there on the Pudge ends up turning this around so completely and utterly that it's really devastating. In the top lane, Invoker now with Necronomicon, as well as a Blank Dagger, as well as Aegis. They're going to push on in here, and honestly, I don't know if they're going to be able to defend this now. You know, Ember Spirit's back on down. We do have buyback on him as well. Nah, not on Pudge. He's, oh god, this is really looking rough. They do have a chance here to be able to initiate solidly. Nicely done there. A Blast actually doesn't hit on anybody, though. Jenkins catch onto Goody one more time again. Spirit Brave falling low. He is going to end up surviving, though, somehow. There's a Sunstrike on top of Jenkins. The Lone Druid is able to take down the tower, though, making work of the melee barracks as well now, and I don't know if they really are going to be able to stop this. We've talked about it a ton before. Shackle doesn't end up landing. Chains do. They do have the Focus Fire now on top of them. Invoker ends up taking out the A. This is really bad now. Cold Embrace one time. Jenkins saving a life a little bit. Ancient Apparition buyback yet again. Winter's Curse on top of the Ember Spirit, trying to run away. Shackle does end up hitting. Goody is falling low a little bit. Not getting focus though. Winter Wyvern able to make his way away, and I think now with the Lotus Orb up on Angel, he's going to be able to make his escape potentially. One time? No, that's going to be another hit there as well. Another AA Blast going to be able to connect. One more time, Angel gets shackled and killed. The Aegis is reclaimed, and now Invoker is going to try to ghost walk away, but I don't know if he's going to make his escape. Goody falling really low. That's going to be a complete and total disaster. Like, at the end of the day, though, they still are able to take the barracks. You take a look at, oh, they took the tier 3 tower, so not the barracks. Oh, God. Why? So they hold. The tier 3 tower falls, but they hold. Fight recap very much into the favor of Leviathan. 1,600 gold swing into their favor. And you take a look, Not Today, though, still so far ahead just because of that, the tower advantage. Like, tier 2s are still up across the board for Leviathan. They don't have the ability to sort of push this out, and now that they're actually getting racks consistently across the board, it's so much harder to push it out and take those towers even to begin with. So, really, really frustrating at this point, I would imagine, for Team Leviathan. And I'm not sure exactly what it is that... I think that probably what it is they just don't have enough push. Like, their main source of it right now is Wind Ranger, and sometimes that's a position that you would fill with your off lane, I feel like. And because they ended up going for Pudge, it was a much more gank and kill-oriented lineup, which is why you see a 15 to 22 in terms of the kill score. And Not Today is ahead in terms of the farm, though, and in terms of towers and everything else. So you're sort of sacrificing kills for towers. And while you can do that to some extent, after a certain point in time, once you end up losing tier 3s, it becomes so much harder for that to happen. 5-man smoke, I think this is what Leviathan need to do. They need to catch somebody out. They need to actually find an important kill here, but Invoker, I'm not sure if they're going to be able to make it happen. We have a Gem of True Sight up on Jenkins, so he's going to be able to find him. Also on top of that, it's worth noting, Ember Spirit does have his Battle Fury, Daedalus, as well as an Ultimate Orb. Oh, here comes the initiation, potentially going to be able to find it. Where are you at? Schofield is going to end up going down there. Nicely done. One time, Wind Ranger ends up picking up the kill. So, like, I feel like at this point in time, Leviathan can win every single team fight that they're in almost. As long as they don't get, like, a terrible initiation, they're going to be fine. The problem is going to be actually pushing down these towers. And, like, at this point, they're getting less gold from the creep wave as well in the mid lane at least. Lone Druid is just going to continue to be able to farm on up more items here. It does have that demon edge on up. So, I don't know. It's becoming more and more difficult as this game goes on. Like, I was talking about at the beginning of this game how I felt like Ember Spirit gets to this point where you can't really deal with him effectively. He's so hard to push against or he's so hard to push against, but he's also just like such a tremendous team fight hero. You've got Sleight of Fist with when you get the Battle Fury up, you know, you're dealing a heck of a lot of damage there, as well as the Daedalus. You're critting on top of people. It's physical damage not blocked by armor. It's just devastating to fight against. And the problem though is that if you can't push after the fact, if you can't push after taking a team fight, you know, at a certain point in time, you got to take objectives. And they were able to contest and take that Roshan, but it ended up being not quite at a point where Ember Spirit was hitting a power curve that he needed to be at. So Gem going to be the item picked up on the Night Stalker. We do have over here, again, the Ancient Apparition. He is working slowly on that Aghanim Scepter. He's been stuck at the same point for a little while now. I think last time I checked, he was at about 1,800 away, and now he's at 1,600 away, roughly. Pudge hasn't really progressed in items a ton either. The big key heroes here are going to be the Wind Ranger with that BKB up, as well as Daedalus Aghanim Scepter. Rubik is going to end up playing a big part as well once he ends up getting about 700 more gold and gain that Aghanim Scepter. Already he's been having a really significant impact. Ooh, Ember. Might be able to find somebody here. No, not able to hit the chains, unfortunate there. But as soon as they end up showing, we get a rotation off to the side. Angel wants to be able to find him. Isn't going to be able to, unfortunately, though. And it looks like Leviathan are going to be content to just push out this bottom lane. So, as we're moving forward, Ember sitting at the top of the net worth, 1,900. Taking a look at it. Not Today still ahead by about 5k. EXP-wise, actually starting to swing into Not Today's way as well, because they've been able to split push the entire time that Leviathan has just been trying to push out the creep waves. Like, they've been able to take their jungle pretty significantly and effectively throughout the course of this. Roche is now back up, though, as well. Aghanim Scepter up on Rubik. This is actually huge. Okay, so next team fight. It looks like Not Today want to come and try and take this Roche. Can't blame them at all for that. Are Leviathan going to have any semblance of an idea that this is happening, though? Considering that the creep wave was pushed out, I think that they take this Roche quicker than Leviathan are going to be able to contest it. Well, maybe. Like, they should know now. Yeah, they toss out the AA Blast. I think that at this point in time, Leviathan just need to book it down here. They're not going to be able to get there in time, I don't think. This is going to be the next really key component here, is are they going to be able to contest this and get here in time? Doesn't quite look at it. Oh, jump forward, maybe? No. That's going to be the Aegis picked on up in a second. Is going to got by the Invoker. But Ancient Apparition does end up taking out the Winter Wyvern now. Jump forward again. Lone Druid in a little bit of trouble. Invoker on the high ground, not where he wants to be at all. Does toss out that Deafening Blast. That's going to be a Pudge down as well. Oh, Nusham getting chased down and killed really quickly. Wind Ranger ends up falling as well. Oh, Ember Spirit, what are you going to do? He can't fight this right now, honestly. Oh, God, so frustrating. Leviathan ended up losing 3 for 1. They were just there a couple of seconds too late. Weren't quite able to make it happen. Taking a look at that fight recap, Not Today. Up by about 2,600 there, and now they're feeling really content to push this on down. All right, what do buyback situations look like? Wind Ranger has it. Nobody else does. Oh, God. I think, though, that the man damage dealers are still here, so that's going to be a jump forward, able to catch on to Angel. Going to have to Remnant on back, but I don't know if they're going to be able to have enough damage to take down Spirit Bear before he's able to take down the Barracks in return. The little silver lining here, Serpent Wards were used. All right, that's the range barracks going. Oh, God, it's a disaster. Leviathan, and now they're taking the tier 3s as well down bottom. Oh, God, Ember Spirit wants to be able to contest this. They've given up on the top racks. They're just going to try and defend the bottom ones now if they possibly can. Flying Zebra Dota moving forward yet again. Ends up getting meatballed now. Ember Spirit with the chilling touch. Maybe the jump forward. Nice hook there. Schofield does end up going down as well. So they looks like they're going to be able to hold. Now can they get any return kills as well? Oh, Ember Spirit trying to find his initiation point. That's the jump forward. Spirit Bear is going to fall. But is it enough? Oh my God, Invoker has 6k in the bank. Are you kidding me right now? Oh no, fight recap. I mean, it's not really giving you the full story in terms of the really significant gold gain they were able to get. Lone Druid is going to be picking up an Ags next. All of a sudden, he doesn't care about Spirit Bear going down, and it looks like, oh my God. Are you kidding me? As soon as you show on the map, though, this is the component that's really dangerous about this, though, is that the Ember Spirit, now that he has the travels up, now that he has the Lincoln Sphere, he's less afraid of people being able to initiate on him, and they realize right now we need to take towers. We need to take racks. If we don't, we're going to end up losing this game. And I think that they feel a little bit comfortable doing it. That being said, Night Stalker does still have buyback at this point in time. Shadow Shaman is going to be back up as well. Do they have enough? This is a real question. Aghanim Scepter is up on Shadow Shaman as well. Aghanim Scepter up on Lone Druid. The fortification comes out, so it looks like they are going to defend the tier 3 if Leviathan still push here. I don't think that Leviathan can back down, though. They have to keep pushing at this point, because if they don't, they're just going to end up losing. And so, no fortification is a nice little bit there as well. Tornado does come down. There's Nusham being able to catch one more time, is able to steal Deafening Blast, but he's getting isolated as well. Oh, Jenkins doesn't end up hitting the hook. That is going to be a shackle. Doesn't end up latching. That's going to be Invoker taking on the Rubik. And now Leviathan has to back. Oh, God, it's really not good. They are going to be able to deal a good amount of damage there with the Sleight of Fist continuing to get popped off from the Ember Spirit. Jump forward yet again. Invoker doesn't quite able to catch, unfortunately. The Blink Dagger Force Staff, a little bit too much mobility for him. Aegis reclaimed in 2 minutes. It looks like they're going to have to defend these other towers here. Barracks are exposed in the bottom lane. We did have Ember Spirit push it out as much as possible, but at this point in time, you're looking at a situation where you don't really have the possibility to defend. And honestly, they can push straight on in through the mid on Not Today now and take it on out if they want. Aegis still going to be back up. Oh, no. Flying Zebra Dota, first hit, Entangle. That's going to be a kill. They do end up catching on a Spirit Bear with the hook, but it's not going to be enough. He was really looking for that Ancient Apparition to keep him alive. Now the jump forward. Spirit Bear don't give a damn. He's going to end up shackling. Doesn't really connect onto that. That's the jump forward yet again. Schofield in a little bit of trouble. That is going to be a Tornado to keep him alive a little bit longer. Force Staff as well. Not going to be able to save his life yet again. Meatball coming down on top of Shibby. He's going to have to run. Ember Spirit in the thick of things. They don't end up hitting on the hook, unfortunately. Shackles onto the lone Druid. Spirit Bear might dead it again. This is going to be a disaster if he does end up going down. That's going to be a kill. Do they have the potential to reinitiate yet again? Ember Spirit chasing. He wants blood. Oh my God, are you kidding me? The damage. Alacrity is up from the Invoker, but it's not going to be enough. That's going to be Aegis popped. Do they have the potential to reinitiate, though? That's the real question. Nusham is going to be able to catch one more time yet again, trying to jump forward. He's going to end up going down. Invoker is going to end up getting killed a second time. Aegis spurned. About a 1,700 gold swing into their favor. Holy Toledo. Leviathan are bringing it back. Like, they're down 2 sets of racks. The barracks are still exposed. It's a 10k net worth lead, but Leviathan are winning every team fight. Like, I don't know. I'm not really sure about this. How are you going to make this happen? Not Today are looking in a really good spot, but like all of their stuff is built around being able to just push on up and take down this last racks, and they need to be able to do that. The Wind Ranger shackle onto Spirit Bear, killing it a second time, was so key. That's another 100 seconds now where they're not going to be able to push on up. Also worth noting, the Aegis expiring, or not expiring, being killed twice on the Invoker is huge as well. So Pudge is going to pick up a Ghost Scepter now, wanting to stay alive as long as possible. Nusham having his Aghanim Scepter again makes a pretty big difference. Honestly, at this point, Leviathan, considering that the buybacks are somewhat slow, I think that they take a fight here and just try and push for tier 4s. They can really out DPS the enemy. They're going to be able to clear this creep wave with a quickness. A lot of the lanes are pushed out. We're seeing Lone Druid do exactly what he needs to by pushing on out the bottom lane, but with no buybacks on these heroes except for the Invoker and the Night Stalker, is it going to be enough? I feel like they're in a position where they can really push their luck here. Oh, A is going to end up backing on out. Oh no, they need to defend. This is the right decision, but it's not what I wanted to see. I wanted to see the base race. Instead, we're going to be seeing the racks defend, which is fine. Oh, Night Stalker ends up taking out the Wind Ranger. That's huge. She has buyback, yes, but God, you don't want to have to use it now. And with that pickoff, they're going to be comfortable. This is the thing that you're consistently seeing here by Not Today, and what they're doing a great job of is when the disengage happens, they're finding 1 or 2 targets and then taking them on out. Oh man, what a game. DD picked up on the Winter Wyvern. Not the most common thing in the world. Ember has another Daedalus now, though. Double Daedalus. He's got a Linken's. He's got a Battle Fury. Still Drums. Could probably trade that out at some point. But this is also going to be no buyback for him. This is their last hurrah. This is what they're doing. This is going to be the last little engagement here. And if they don't win this one, I feel like they're not going to be able to make it happen at all. So jump forward, hook, immediately catch on Schofield. Nicely done. Destruction abound. Spirit Bear is going to get lifted here as well. Do they have the possibility? You can't lose Spirit Bear at this point because there's no resummon. So you can't. Oh, there is a resummon. Never mind. I'm dumb. Okay, yeah, there is still a resummon. All right, so they can't afford to lose him. Still don't want to if they don't have to. But that was such a key pickoff there. Schofield just moving a little bit too far forward, ends up getting caught. That means that there's not going to be any wards down. He has Aghanim Scepter wards up as well. So Not Today are going to have to back out yet again. That is such a huge pickoff. All right, Goody now, bottom lane. Does have the Glimmer Cape on up yet again. It looks like Leviathan are going to be going for blood. Why are you doing this? Dota 2, please. Oh, God, I'm crashed out. What the heck is going on? Oh, Reborn. Update queued. What is this? Oh, no. Jesus, are you kidding me? Oh, what is going on? Why are you timing an update for right now? I'm so sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Can't do anything about this. Hopefully everybody else crashes. That way it's a pause, but my goodness gracious. Volvo, please. I don't want to view updates. I just want to watch the game. I just want to watch the game. Holy fuck.